Hello and welcome to episode 78 with Paro Pod with me, Owen, and you,
Mark.
and you, listener, insert name afterwards. This is one of our recommended film episodes. We're going to be talking about 1976's Network. Mark's recommendation for this week. This is the first time I've ever had to say the name of the recommended film, and boy howdy do I feel weird doing it.
Boy howdy.
Not used to it.
Sure, look, you done well. You done well, kid.
I'll just get into the flow eventually, you know.
I'm passing the baton.
Yeah.
You know, this is it.
Yeah, you get the Browntown episodes now.
Oh yeah, nice one.
Well, yeah, we'll be talking about that in an hour. We got stuff to talk about beforehand.
That's true. Pressing issues.
Pressing issues. Like France, Mark. How was
France.
it?
It was great. I went to Paris. It was class. Paris is I had reservations about Paris prior to going over. You know, 'cause I'd been to Paris before. It was very, very grey. Everyone's very mean in France. Like they're very mean people, mean spirited. I think, but I think they're very honest. Very honest.
Too honest.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, because like you see, like you go to Berlin or Amsterdam or anything like that. Everyone speaks English, and you can just speak English, and it's fine. In France, you can speak English, but they look
down on you.
They look down on you, but you can speak French, but they still look down on you.
Oh yeah, you can
It's
try,
like-
and they're like,
yeah.
don't try.
Yeah, they're like, stop trying. But then you speak English, and they're like, you piece of shit.
You're butchering my language, and then you speak English, like, fuck you for not speaking my language.
Yeah. They're very strange people. But yeah, I went to Paris and it was very, very good. I saw all the sights.
All the bits.
Well, the main bits, you know, Arc de Triomphe. I saw the Bastille. It's not really to see, but it's like, you know, a big thing. And it's a very historic place. You know, such amazing history in that city.
Yeah, that's the thing. France. A lot of history in France.
A lot of history.
Lot of history.
We went to Notre Dame as well. It's very.
How's that looking now?
She's all right.
Yeah.
She's not. That's the one thing Dublin. The only thing Dublin has over France. It has a spire in the middle of it. Notre Dame, obviously, its spire collapsed. So
Take that, France.
we were there, like, yeah, one for the paddies. Yeah,
Finally.
finally, yeah, but yeah. It's kind of looking a bit rough, but it'll get back into a decent shape. We also went to that, you know, the bookshop, the Shakespeare.
I was gonna say I saw it was on Carl's story.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah,
One that was in Before Sunset.
The
Second one. The second before one. Yeah, it's Sunset or Sunrise. No, Sunrise is the first one.
Before Sunset, yeah.
Before Sunset, yeah.
And then Before Midnight.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went to that. It's so cool. It had like a big, like, fucking shrine to James Joyce and all this stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna buy. They had this amazing copy of Ulysses. It was like a hardback kind of thing. It had this cool texture, and I was like, oh, it's like €27 because everything's extremely expensive. Yeah. Obviously, because it's like
the most famous bookshop in Europe.
Yeah, pretty the world. Yeah, and we're there, and like everything's really expensive, and everyone in there speaks English. Like as soon as you walk in, they're like, "Hey, come on in." It's all like Americans.
Gas.
Apparently, they all the people who work there on like they only get paid in like a stipend, but they're there. They get free accommodation.
What does that mean?
They get like like, I don't know, 300 quid like a month or something like that. Like just you know, like a lump sum, but they get free accommodation above the shop.
Oh,
but they're there to like write, you know, they're all like aspiring writers and stuff.
Really? Jeez, that's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Sounds like a handy one.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I was thinking of getting that Ulysses, and I was like, oh, well, I won't. It's like such a historic bookshop, you know, and they put a little stamp on it in the inside, so you have it with you forever. But now I was like, I'm from Dublin. Like, why am I getting like a copy of Ulysses in fucking France? You know, like I was like, James Joyce grew up or like lived down the road, you know, from where we grew up. And it's like, what's
why is there no famous like bookshops around there that sell? Surely
in Dublin.
Yeah. Like we lost Chapters. That's probably our most famous bookshop.
Yeah, and that had only like been there for like 30 years or something, 20 years.
I don't really have famous bookshops and.
Yeah, not really.
Ooh, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I think a lot of them like got blown up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame for a country of such great literary tradition. But at the same time, like basically all our great writers left as soon as they possibly could, you know.
That's the thing.
That
is the thing. They all fucked off and went to Paris, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Joyce and Becca, all the boys. But you can see why, because you go over to Paris and there's so much to do, and everything's so well connected in such a modern city. And one thing that people don't talk about is Paris smells so nice.
Does it?
It actually smells really nice.
Smell like croissants or something?
I don't know, yeah. It smells like a coffee shop, like the whole thing. But like Dublin smells like shit in comparison.
Dublin, I'm walking around Dublin today, I was like, it smells like sewage and weed.
Yeah. I don't know if like we've just gone nose blind, become adjusted to it, but like Paris just seems to smell a lot nicer, you know. And there's so much to do. There was just like a museum near where we were staying, the Musée Carnavalet. and had this amazing collection of like sculptures and historical artifacts. And like real paintings that you've seen in that like everyone would know, like that you'd seen in like history books or like in documentaries and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you could reach out and touch them, but like obviously you couldn't, you know. But like it was all there. It was completely free. It was like 5 levels, and it was like this huge, had this courtyard in the middle with like a statue of Henry XIV. It's like the whole thing was just. It was just insane compared to Dublin, because the rent is the exact same, but there's so much to do, and it's like it's Paris. It's not Dublin.
It's fucking Paris. Like
like you can't, like you can walk across Dublin in fucking an hour, you know. In Paris, it's like there's so much to do. It take months to see everything. So it's a shame what happened to this fair city.
We'll get back eventually.
We'll get back, man. Inflation will sort us out, hopefully.
Yeah.
A few
Celtic
expropriations.
Tiger 2.0. Here
Let's
we go.
do it, yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, bro.
Let's make some bank.
Yeah, Paris was great. What were you up to?
Haven't really been up to much. Been busy as fucking shit.
It would work, yeah.
You work, Jesus, man. Work's a fucking pain in the hole. Work is an absolute pain in the hole. Just
it's a fucking joke.
like I saw, like I'm not gonna get into what I exactly do, but like I deal with the public in technology in some form. And
It's a bad line of work.
Oh my god. I remember seeing like Bill Gates saying that in 10 years time or 5 or 10 years time, like every Zoom call will be in VR, and like dealing with the public and like setting up, you know, accounts and stuff like that for, you know, online stuff. Absolutely fucking not. There's no, like, Bill Gates, reset your expectations for how high you think that the average person is with a computer.
Yeah. There's no way. Plus, you wouldn't want to talk to them.
No.
You know, in VR.
Oh, jeez, no.
No. Like, anytime I'm in any meeting, I like to, if I can, camera off, ideally microphone off.
Yeah.
I'm just there and I'm just like, you know, in the background.
Yeah, listen.
Barely listening in. Yeah.
Like I was on a Teams call with one person, and I had to help them set up their account, and I was on the Teams call for 20 minutes. 15 of those 20 minutes was just trying to get the person to share their screen with me on Teams. I was like, "Do you see the button there?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Click that." And like, "Okay, I clicked it." And I was like, "Now, do you see like the option to share your screen?" I was like, "No." And I was like, "It's literally the first one." And they're like, "Yeah, no, I don't see that." I was like, "Well, then you didn't click the right button."
Did you say that to them?
Oh, I was sitting there. I was like, I was sitting there for like 10 minutes, being like, how do I do this? Like, how do I help this person who doesn't even know how to share their screen on Teams?
Yeah, it's like that's like a minimum requirement, you know. That's like basic literacy, tech literacy.
This is after COVID as well, where every fucking business industry, whatever, was online. It's like there's definitely at one stage you had to share your screen with another person during the last 2 years, and somehow you still don't know how to do it.
You've forgotten how to do it, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Speaking of Zoom calls, I had an interview there earlier today with the civil service.
Oh, yeah.
You know, which you know the way they are. They're like very kind of behind the times, or maybe not behind the times, but they're very like, there's a bureaucracy, there's an order to all the things that happen there. And it was such a weird interview experience because it was over Zoom, but like, you know the way in an interview, like it's like one-to-one, and it's kind of free flowing. They ask you questions, and it's basically your position to pitch yourself. You know? But like this one, is civil service, and it was like I barged in on a council of the elders. You know, it was like these 3 6-year-old people, and none of them wanted to be there. You could tell straight away as soon as you got in. It was like these people just want to go home, or they are home, but they just want to fucking do something else. But they asked questions. It was like 45-minute interview, and they all took turn asking questions. But like, you know, the way it works is like the person will ask a question, then you go on like, oh, you set up a story, and then you describe, I showed leadership like getting the milk for the fucking office or whatever. You know, it's like some stupid.
I took that stand.
yeah. Everyone knows it's bullshit, but you still have to say it. Like I was doing that, and I was like, that's how I've wired myself to approach interviews. But like they had this weird thing where they each had a lot of time to ask me questions. And within that, each question they were asking had an allotted period of time as well. So I'd be like 3 minutes into setting up the story about buying milk or whatever. And then they'd be like, anyway, about this different competency or whatever. Like, they just interrupt me and be like, go on to something else. And I was just like, is that like, have I lost points?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here? But they didn't describe how it was happening beforehand. I felt attacked, assaulted.
What is this marking criteria?
yeah. One of them kept rolling their eyes as well every time I said something. I was like, what's this?
Yeah.
So weird.
Just disconnect. Like, oh, sorry. I really want the job.
Yeah, there were tech issues. Just give me the job. But yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It just Zooms. Like
Zoom.
Virtual meetings.
Zoom,
Get rid of them.
Teams, sick of all of it.
Get
Sick
rid
of
of
it. But I also don't want to go back into the office at the same time.
I also, no office, masks, all that stuff. I don't want people to sit beside me on public transport. Those were great developments.
Oh my God.
I also want sick pay. I won't be paid to be home to be sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we need those things, but they're getting rid of them.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of them.
I want what I deserve as a worker. You know, bare minimum.
That's all.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, we put in bare minimum effort. We ask bare minimum in return.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's very simple. It's very, very simple.
It makes sense to me.
We're not complicated men.
No.
We're not
Very,
complicated.
very simple. I'm a very simple man. You know,
Just give me my sick pay and my masks and my.
no one sitting beside me in public transport. Oh man, I was on the bus today, and I sat down. And I was going in like early, like, you know, rush hour, like hours, whatever. Sat down on the bus, immediately put the bag beside me. I was like, don't fucking sit beside me. Don't fucking sit beside me.
Yeah. Even if I'm on at rush hour and like I want to have a seat, like I need to have a seat, I will not sit down beside someone. I feel like I feel like I'd be judged. I also feel like, I just feel I'd be judged. This is like, stay away from me. And I was like, I don't want that, you know, that baggage, you know.
It's a lot of baggage.
That's a lot of baggage.
Especially when you're going to work and you actually got your actual physical bags with you. You need to sit down beside a person.
Yeah.
A load of fucking bullshit.
The stress.
Sick of it.
Yeah.
Double buses need to get wider as well, or like the like path in the middle. I was getting off the bus and twice hit my head. And like,
What? How?
I don't know. My headphones are obviously like slightly bigger on my head than I think they are, and I have to like, I should actually kind of crouch my head, because twice I was walking and like clipped my headphones
On the top.
on the top of it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not that tall. Like, I'm not that tall.
Yeah, how do tall people get around?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. No
No
idea.
buses.
My mom was saying, was it my mom? I think my mom was saying to me that she was at like Pennies or something, and the fella that was working behind the desk was like really, really tall, to the point where she wasn't being served by the dude, but the person beside her literally goes to him like, "Here, sorry man, I know this is rude, but how fucking tall are you?" Yeah, he man was like 6'7", I think he said he was.
Jesus,
I was
that's
like,
tall.
That's tall.
That is tall.
That's
I think that's legally tall.
yeah.
Isn't it? There's a legal barrier
Yeah,
there.
and it's like, you know what? That's tall enough to the point where, like, yeah, that's fair enough. You can ask.
Yeah.
Say he's sick. Say he's sick of hearing about it. But
Yeah, they should have like a calling card, you know. It's like, yes, I'm very tall.
Like-
This is how tall I am.
like you have, if you're very, very tall, like on your name card, on your name tag on you, it just says like Mark Sheridan is like 6'6".
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
No, I tell
They had
you.
one of these weird markets in France actually, where it's like, it was strange because it was on like the concourse leading up to the Bastille, and we were just walking through it. Like the market wasn't open, but like we were walking through it to like just cut across the road, and but like all the, like the frames were like, it was like a market for hobbits or something like that. The frames were like at like eyebrow level, so like you had to constantly duck as you're walking through it. I don't know
French
how
people
that works.
small?
I don't know. I didn't notice that at all. I
Yeah.
don't think they're small at all.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
It was
weird.
weird. I was like, what the fuck is this? Bit weird.
That is a bit weird.
But
Maybe they got secret hobbits in Paris. The
They
gnomes come in at night, and they make
Yeah.
Paris smell really nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
that's what it is.
Yeah, they live in the underground or
Yeah.
something like that.
Like in those, Paris has the catacombs, don't they?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the ones
they
that you
probably
get
do.
lost in and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah.
not like, it's illegal to go into them or
Mm.
something. Yeah.
Because like if you go in by yourself, like you're getting lost.
Yeah, you're gonna die. Yeah.
I think there's a horror film about that. As above, so below.
Yeah, that is in Paris, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's about people getting stuck in the catacombs. Fuck that.
I wouldn't be arsed doing that.
No,
I wouldn't be arsed.
I wouldn't even be arsed like going on a tour for something like that.
No, I'd be like, Orla really wants to go see them for some reason.
Why?
I've no idea. She's never really explained it, but she really wants to go to the catacombs. I don't know why. Because like it's not even like there is a bit of history there, but they're fairly recent. Like it's only the last
just graves, is it?
It's like dead people, but like from the overflowing graveyards. So people who already died and been buried, and then they're like, "There's no room, man. We have to build a fucking shopping center or whatever, or McDonald's. We're gonna have to put you in like these catacombs." You know?
Yeah, stick them in the ground.
Yeah.
Do they still put? They're hard to still put people under there.
Surely not. Like,
Yeah, surely not.
that'd be kind of cool though, wouldn't it?
That would be cool.
I want to be buried in the catacombs.
Yeah, I wonder if you can request that. Like after like 50 years, just stick me underneath there.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Well, we're gonna have to find space anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There do be a lot of people.
They're just gonna start burning them, you know.
Yeah, just cremation. I suppose that's a simpler. That's a simpler
Build entire
solution.
cities of dead people. Yeah.
City of the dead. Like an umbrella, like underground base.
Yeah,
Just filled
Resident
with
Evil. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have their own society
That'd be cool.
with the gnomes.
The gnomes take care of us. Oh god. Ooh, fuck.
Yeah, what you been watching?
I've been watching some anime, my dude.
Nice.
I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's like one of the most like acclaimed anime series of all time. It's from the 80s, I want to say, or early 90s. I'm going to say 90s because I think the film was like 97, 98, or 96, 98, around that time. So I remember it was 93. I can't remember. No, it's in the 90s anyway.
Every time you say a year, you do the same
I just
thing.
immediately retracted, like, nah, it's not that. It's from the 90s. Yeah, like, how do I... So Neon Genesis is about Shinji, and he's a little anxious boy, and he has to get into a big robot and fight angels, which are like aliens, but they're also kind of like literal angels, and it's about that. But it's about much more than that. My experience of watching Neon Genesis was kind of a bit of a journey, because like the first 10 episodes are like really, really good. Like really, really good. And then they introduce a character called Asuka. And Asuka comes in, and like all the characters are very, very tropey, like the real anime tropes. And there's like accidental boob grabs and stuff like that. Like it's just, yeah. And it's like they're like kids, like they're like young teenagers. They're like meant to be 13, 14. And you're like, oh, this is a bit weird.
Come on.
And Asuka comes into it, and she's a complete bitch. Like, and she's for me, I found her like actively annoying, like really annoying.
Why is she annoying?
Because she's just like fuck everyone, and like keeps like saying like I'm the best, and like is really arrogant, and like puts down Shinji, and like just says things. You're just like, will you just shut the fuck up? Leave poor Shinji alone. Leave everyone else alone. Like, you're not the best because Shinji's the best, whatever. And just like stuff like that. To the point where like I had actually dropped the series. Like I was on episode 18. There's only 26 episodes. I was on episode 18, and I think I watched like the first 2 minutes of it, and then I knocked it off for whatever reason, and then I left it. And then last week I was like, I don't know what to watch. I'll pick up Neon Genesis again. Episode 18 is one of the best things I've ever fucking seen.
Jesus.
Like, ever seen. It completely like turned up a gear in a way that I was like, why the fuck did they have to take this long for the TV show, for the anime to like become what it's really about? Because from episode 18 to 26, like, here's a reveal for this character, here's the psychological backstory to this character, here's the reason why they are the way that they are. Asuka, I absolutely hated her episode comes around, it's like, here's the reason why she is the way that she is. I was like, Asuka is my favorite fucking character now, and I feel so bad for hating on her.
Oh shit.
I was like, Asuka, you've gone through so much like traumatic shit. I was like, here's the trauma that she went through, and here's like how she ended up the way that she is. And like, it's like, that makes perfect sense why like a child like who's like 14, 15, who isn't really aware like of anything, would become the way they are when like the stuff when she was a little kid happens. And it's the same for Shinji. Like, Shinji is an absolute fucking coward, and it's like, here's the reason why Shinji is the way he is. And it's like, oh my god, Shinji. It's like, Jesus, you should not be forced. Like, it becomes about, the whole show becomes about depression, becomes about like childhood trauma, becomes about anxiety, becomes about like sexual trauma and stuff like that as well. And even like in terms of like the accidental boob grab, it's just like Shinji is discovering who he is, and he's a really awkward teenager. So like, he has the accidental boob grab of one of the characters, and like, that's fucking weird. But then later on, you're just like, well, I mean, it's part of him, you know,
learning to be who he is.
Learning to be who he is in the boob.
Sorry, I'm just going through a character arc at the moment.
Don't worry, Ray. This makes sense at the end.
Oh god. How's that? Is like, it ties into his like trauma from before.
It's not even his trauma. It's just like he's an awkward, stupid teenager, and like the weird sexual situations that he gets into is like, I mean, in other anime it would be like it's just like fan service.
Yeah.
But in Neon Genesis, like it's kind of fan service, but it's also got a reason for being there. Like a plot reason
They've
for being there.
justified it at least.
They've actually justified it. And that's the same for like every issue that I had with the show becomes justified, and not only becomes justified, has like an emotional impact on like when I was watching it. Like fucking hell, the journey I went on with this show, it was kind of similar in a sense to when I watched Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, and that like readjusted the way that I watched Twin Peaks, or like how I thought back on Twin Peaks, except this was like, here's the last quarter of the TV show, and it's going to completely change the way that you viewed, or like the last third of the TV show, because it's only 26 episodes, so 8 of the 26 episodes, like, here's a complete shift in how you're going to view this entire show. And it's like, oh, fair fucks.
Yeah, a lot shorter than Twin Peaks as well, isn't it? Yeah.
And episodes like, and then, so like, there's a point as well. There's a few, it becomes like really experimental as well in terms of like animation. There's like a scene where Shinji's at the pits of his depression at this point, basically, and he's like, I'm completely fucking worthless. I'm a coward. The only reason why I have any meaning is to get into this big robot and fight. Like, that's the only thing that I'm good at. It's like this real like child soldier, kind of like beast of no nation type of stuff.
Yeah,
it's like you have absolutely, like, you've been convinced by everyone and your own internal monologue that you have no value except for being a soldier. And like, he's a reluctant soldier. Like, he doesn't want to do this. And then like he's at the absolute pits, and there's a moment where basically he's holding something that if he let go could just destroy the entire world. And it's like he is holding his chance to like not only like to like basically to kill himself. Like, he has an option to kill himself, and it's like he chooses not to. But in choosing not to is even more traumatic to him than if he just if he literally just let go.
Yeah.
And then
that's heavy.
That's episode 24, and then episode 25 and 26. What happened with Neon Genesis, from what I understand, is that they had their ending. They had it basically all planned out, but there was like a bombing or like a mass poisoning, or I can't remember exactly what it was. There's an attack basically in Japan, and they're like,
the subway attacks.
It was a subway.
Was it the cult thing?
Yes, the death cult thing. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
that's mad.
That happened, and they're like, we're gonna change the ending a little bit because
it was gonna be like that.
It was like it was like bombs and stuff going off, like lots of people were dying. So like, better not do that. So what instead they did was, from what I think that's what happened. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I've heard.
That's mad.
Happened. What they did was, episode 24 and 25 and 26 is the internal thoughts and like emotions and experiences that the characters are having whilst the events are happening outside, if that makes sense. So like, you get like slight hints that something cataclysmic has happened, but you don't actually get to see what that is, but instead you get to see the characters' mental journeys through that. So like, Asuka goes through her like, I'm like, she gets into her pits of depression again and goes through like her arc. Shinji goes through his arc. Rei goes through her arc. Masato is another character. She goes through her arc, and it's like, here's all this, character development, like the internal stuff that's going on in them. And then it ends on a somewhat not disappointing, but like underwhelming note.
How?
Because it's just like Shinji like kind of accepts himself by the end of it, but you don't really get a full feeling of that.
Yeah.
Like you don't really get to feel it. But then a couple of years afterwards, they released the film The End of Evangelion, which is, here's like the actual thing that was happening. Here's the cataclysmic event.
Oh, okay. And that's what they originally planned.
And but they expanded on it, like they added in more, like it's a feature-length film, so it's longer than 2 episodes. But it's like, yeah, here's the ending. Here's the end of Evangelion that you didn't get to see at the end of Evangelion. And it's just like, like, it is absolutely fantastic. Like, you get incredible like set pieces, great fight scenes with the mechs versus the what are they called?
The Angels.
The Angels and the Avas is what they get into these things called Avas. And it's like, here's what the Avas are as well. Like you learn that like the Avas aren't just robots, they're something else. And the Angels aren't just angels, they're also something else. And it's like everything that you thought about this world is completely different. It's actually much more like biblical, I guess, because they use a lot of like biblical. Well, he actually merges like Christianity with like Buddhism with Taoism. He mixes like all these different religions together to like form his like cataclysmic like apocalyptic event. I've heard afterwards that the guy that made Neon Genesis, they're asking him about like the imagery in Christianity especially, and he's like, oh, I just thought it looked cool.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like the crosses, it all looked really cool, so I just used that.
Great symbolism. Yeah.
And then like you get to see what actually happened, and it's like, oh wow, this is way worse than I thought it was, like going inside the characters' heads. And the entire series basically becomes about you're not alone, like being like experiencing nothing and like, you know, ending everything and experiencing nothing and, you know, removing yourself from everyone and being like completely alone from everyone. Not only do you lose your identity because you can't form an identity if you don't have other people around you, you can't learn who you are without like bouncing off other people, you know? It's better to suffer with people around than to live in bliss with no one around, is basically how it ends. And it's like, you know, hope and love will conquer over everything else. Yeah. You know, it ends on a really like positive note, but also a somewhat sad note as well. Like it's very melancholic note, but it's also filled with hope. Yeah,
that sounds heavy.
Oh man, it's heavy.
It sounds
like
heavy. It's
a very heavy show. From where
which is better though? Is the is the film like as good as the best episodes of the?
Oh yeah.
Is it a good ending? Like great ending.
Great ending.
I have to watch it because I watched the first 3 episodes and I kind of trailed off.
Yeah, see, I did the same thing because it becomes very monster of the week.
Yeah.
It really does become one of those type of anime, but then it just shifts and it's like here's what this whole thing is really about. But Neon Genesis is a very, very weird series. Like there's 4 films that came out after the end of Evangelion.
Is there?
They're basically.
Isn't there? There's a recent one, isn't there?
Yeah, because
it's
the last one. They're on Amazon.
Are they?
It was on Amazon.
Are they all on Amazon? They were on Netflix.
So the TV show and End of Evangelion is on Netflix, and then the 4 rebuild films are on Amazon Prime. But they're like reimaginings and retellings of the original series.
Fuck that.
So it's like, what if this happened to this character instead of what happened to that character, and they add in another character that wasn't in the original series, and it expands and in different ways.
It's like remakes.
Basically remakes, but yeah, I don't know, because I haven't watched them, so I'm not entirely sure what happens.
That's weird.
But I know that the first one is basically a summary of the entire series, and then it's like then there's a second film and a third film and then a fourth one.
All right.
They all have fucking weird names as well. Like the third one's called like Evangelion 3.333, and then the fourth one is called Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0. It's like, why the fuck did you not? Why is it not just called 4?
Yeah, just come on. Pretentious.
Yeah, it is. He's pretentious. It just like really, really heavy. It becomes a completely different show, and like
I'd heard that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a very philosophical journey, you know.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. And like it becomes about like Jungian and fucking. Oh my god, the fucking philosopher, Freud. It comes about Freudian theory and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Freud.
Yeah.
It's in an anime. I suppose all of anime is Freudian, isn't it?
Everything's Freudian, man. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
I will have to get back into that.
There's a real grim part at the start of the film, though.
What do you mean?
Where Shinji like wanks over a comatose body.
What? He's like 13.
Yeah, and she's like 14.
Why is she comatose?
Because she tried to kill herself in the TV show.
And so he wanks over her.
Yeah. He feels real bad about it afterwards.
Oh, Sam, it's alright, man. Don't worry about it.
It's just like, don't know why you needed to have that in, but, you know.
Yeah, what's the need for that? What's the plot motivation?
You don't even see it. Like, you do see it, but like...
Is that part of his arc? This is trauma.
There's no justification for that, but yeah. Worst thing is she never finds out about it either. That makes it even worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just grim.
Well...
Listen, it's anime, you know?
Listen, yeah.
It's anime from, you know, the early 90s, you know? You gotta accept that some bits of it...
Yeah, it's moved on. It's evolved since then.
Yeah, much like, you know, 2000s culture. in the Western canon, you know, anime's moved on, for the most part. Not entirely, but for the most part.
Sure, look. Yeah, I'll have to watch that now.
Yeah, definitely. It's on Netflix as well. You know?
Yeah, very key, very key. That's what led me to it in the first place. I was like, I've heard so much about this. And then I watched 3 episodes.
Yeah, I did literally the same thing. I watched 3 episodes. I was like, I'll watch a 4th. And then I like struggled my way. I was like, I'm not enjoying the show. And then episode 18 hit. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, never mind. Kind of sucks that it takes to episode 18 for it to really, you know, become the show that it is.
They're just filtering out the fair weathers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like you wanna stick around, you're gonna have to go through some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Gendo's a fucking cunt. Shinji's dad. Jesus.
Yeah, Shinji's dad. Yeah, I could tell that from the first few.
Oh man, he is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, bad out. Leave the kid alone.
Leave the poor kid alone.
Leave him alone.
Apparently, like at the end of the 4th film, like the rebuild films, it really hits home about his character arc, because he does get an arc, but like it really hits in the rebuild.
His dad.
Yeah, it's like because his justification for the way that he is explained in the TV show, but his like what he lost in his relationship to Shinji gets like expanded on, because like he is the way he is because of something that happened, and he hates Shinji kind of because of it.
Okay.
Kind of, and then it's like he could have what he was looking for the entire time. He could have had if he had a relationship with Shinji.
Okay, yeah, this is tragic.
Yeah, but he's also a cunt. He deserved what he got.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Look, you need those characters.
You do indeed. What have you been watching this week?
I had a look at the sequel to Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, as part of our Batman series in the lead up to The Batman, which is out in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And we're going to go see that at the end of this journey. But in the meantime, yeah, I watched Batman Returns.
As did I.
1992 film, I believe.
I think so. I think that's right.
Tim Burton. Michael Keaton, he's back again. Michael Keaton's also back. I thought they changed. I thought they would have changed the Batman, but it is still Michael Keaton.
Yeah. His suit's slightly different, though. He's able to move his head a little bit better.
Is he?
I think so.
Maybe
I just didn't notice it as much.
It's still a shit suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Batman's barely in this film, to be fair.
Which is the best part.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, I suppose. But this is the one with the Penguin, Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
And I have to say, if I was to choose, if someone put a gun to my head for some reason and said choose between Jack Nicholson's Joker and Danny DeVito's Penguin, I would say, I wouldn't even think about it.
I wouldn't even think about it.
I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, Danny DeVito's Penguin.
Yeah.
His Penguin is very, very good.
It's great.
Creepy, but also like he does. It's not cheesy.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of is cheesy, but like it's not in a bad way at all. Very, very good.
There's something about it where like he's so gross and so disgusting, yet still really cheesy and corny, that like his horrific disgustingness is never, it's still always present.
Yeah.
In a way that like,
but it doesn't leave a bad taste in the mouth, because they're like, this guy's fun, you know.
It was kind of like something like Toxic Avenger, where like this film is like this character's really gross, but there's also, you know, the cheese to it that is also, you know, it doesn't take away from how gross he is. There's something about it. For his hands, man. There's a stage where like he was like, who would ever want like someone with flippers, like hands like these? And I was like, for a second I was like, wait, hon, is he? I thought he was wearing gloves because they haven't shown his full hands at that stage.
Yeah.
I was like, he holds his hands in these gloves, but I thought for a second, like, wait, does he actually have flippers? And then he takes off the gloves. I was like, oh, okay, right.
Yeah. I thought the same. I was
Yeah.
like, does he actually have?
Yeah, I was
that's so unrealistic.
I was like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Then no, he just has weird hands.
Yeah, when he takes off the gloves, you can just see it's a guy wearing like prosthetics.
Yeah.
You can just see his hands. And like he just has like things attached onto it where he has like flippers, quote unquote. But yeah, I think he's so good. He's so very, very funny, you know, and he's genuinely creepy. Also, like it's a great arc compared to
Joker.
Yeah, Joker in the Jack Nicholson turn on it, because like it's just like Jack Nicholson was clearly phoning it in.
Yeah.
You know, like it gets talked about as one of the great. Oh, like this is an amazing Joker. This is the first dark Joker. But watching that film, I just felt like he was phoning it in.
Yeah, same. I was like, I've seen The Shining. I've seen him do, you know, crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, and I know that there's comic book films, so there has to be a certain level of cheese to it. But I don't know. It's just something about that Joker that I don't enjoy. Like what I wanted from that Joker is in Penguin.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like he's not gross or anything. He's not like weird and funny and wacky. He's just kind of a weird character.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah, but then Penguin's like, I'm creepy, but I'm also funny. I'm also somewhat sympathetic as well.
Yeah. He does have like he has a backstory.
Bad for him, you know?
Yeah, he has a backstory. He has a motivation. This film also has Christopher Walken as well, which I had no idea.
Never knew
Absolutely no idea that he was in these films. He plays Max Schreck. I thought Max Schreck was the Penguin, but apparently the Penguin is Oswald Cobblepot.
What a name as well.
What a name, yeah. So that's another great name compared to like, was it Jack Napier?
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
Like, what's that?
Yeah.
Come up with a decent name. Like,
yeah, at least make
Max
it memorable. I don't even remember his fucking name in it. Like,
yeah. But like
Napier, like,
yeah, Jack Napier, like boring. But yeah, they have Max Schreck is Christopher Walken,
and
he's
Shrek
like,
as well.
Yeah, Shrek. It's
back again.
It's spelled slightly differently, but he's like the anti Bruce Wayne, I suppose. You know, he's like a counterpart for Bruce Wayne, and his secretary, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. That's another huge plus for the film.
Another big
compared
bonus.
to the original, because like she's great.
Oh,
She's great in
Catwoman
this.
is so good.
She's very, very cheesy. You know,
Yeah.
extreme. Especially her relationship with Bruce Wayne. It's like it's like cringeworthy. You know? But like
this is one of the horniest films I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's so like, yeah, it's a very randy film. Yeah, but yeah, her relationship with Bruce Wayne is like mad cringy, but at the same time it works. It works in the context of the film. It all the elements kind of combine together. Even Christopher Walken's Shrek is very very cheesy, very like you know, he's a comic book character.
Yeah.
You know, he's not trying to play it off or like, you know, pretend to be anything that he's not. And it all kind of works. Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, I think, lets us down a bit. Lets us down a bit.
I think it kind of works in this one though, because like he's not
Batman at all. He's just some guy, like.
But he's not really in it, and like he's like his relationship with Catwoman, like when it's Batman and Catwoman, like their relationship works as well. You know.
Yeah.
In a way that like there's just everything that I wanted from the first Batman film is actually in this film. It's like it's still dark. Like Penguin wants to his ultimate plan is to like, you know, get an army of penguins and just blow up everyone. Like that's his end game. And like it looks so stupid, but before that his plan was to kidnap every firstborn child in Gotham and murder them.
Yeah. Just like this guy's just a villain. Like
what was Joker's plan in the first one?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Can't remember.
I have no idea. Was it gas? It was the gas thing.
Oh yeah, he's gonna make everyone into a permanent smile.
That's shit compared to like.
That's all right. Like
compared to like kidnapping children and throw them into water.
Yeah, it's so over the top.
And then it's like, oh, that's not gonna work. Well, release the army of penguins.
He's like, yeah, just release the penguins.
That was so funny.
Yeah, he just has penguins down the sewers.
Yeah. I was like watching the film. I was like, why does the sewer lead directly into the penguin sanctuary in the zoo?
Is that the zoo? I thought that's just the sewer.
No, yeah, well, he's in the sewer, but then it leads into the zoo.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
It's just cutbacks.
Yeah, cutbacks. Gotham is a shithole.
Yeah, they just built the zoo on top of a sewer. I love how the beginning of the film when Max Schreck gets abducted by the penguin, and he's like, "It's true, the penguin man of the sewers." Like, what the fuck? There's a penguin man in the sewers. It's very funny. He's just like imagining the backstory, like the mythology of the penguin.
Yeah.
But like he's not like some mad like, You know, it's not a big serious thing. It's, oh, he's a half man, half penguin. It's like he's just like a penguin guy in the sewers.
Just a penguin guy.
He's a crazy guy. Like he's a bit eccentric
with these weird hands.
Yeah. A good thing is that Batman is barely in this film. Barely. In
it
the
mostly focuses on the villains,
film.
and
Which is
like,
good.
It's like Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer's like perfect. That is like
Yeah.
that's what you want. Even like fucking Christopher Walken. That's what you want.
That's what you want.
Batman. You've already had a film with Batman being the main character and having most of the runtime. Let's enjoy the wacky villains that he has.
Definitely.
And they're very good. Like Michelle Pfeiffer is so good in this film. Like her and Danny DeVito just make this film.
Yeah, they are the best. Did they come back?
No.
This
is all we get of them.
That's a shame.
It is a shame.
Because like Catwoman, I remember. I don't know if this was the animated series or anything, but I remember Catwoman in my mind is like the same. Would have been like a main character in like in the fucking cultural consciousness or something like that. Like
I think she's only in this film.
Yeah, but I remember hearing about it. I think she was in like the animated series or something like that. But she, in my mind, she was as big as the Penguin and all these other characters and like the Joker and stuff. But she's not in any modern film at all. She hasn't been in a film, I suppose, since this one.
Anne Hathaway was Catwoman.
Oh shit, she was.
Yeah, she was.
But she was a side character, like complete side
character.
character.
Yeah, and she like. You're not really Catwoman, are you? You just.
Oh wait, fucking Halle Berry was Catwoman. Remember that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm completely incorrect here. Yeah, she was. Oh, she had that scene where she was like she played basketball.
Yeah.
But her cat-like reflexes won the game.
Yeah, and like Catwoman is like a very.
Cheesy.
In the comics anyway, is like a very important character and stuff like that. Like she's like she's iconic.
She's like she's his counterpart, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like,
She's like a what's her anti-hero.
Yeah,
she's like a villain, but she's also a good guy.
Yeah.
Batman should just let her fuck up Max Shrek.
Yeah, the whole thing. Oh, don't kill him. We'll bring him.
Fuck this dude.
that whole thing at the end. He's like, yeah, don't kill him. We can bring him to jail. It's like look at this city.
Yeah.
You think the police are going to do anything about this?
The police couldn't do a fucking thing about anything in this film.
Yeah. You're down here in the sewers after we've foiled the plot by a half penguin, half man to kill every child in Gotham. You think the police are going to solve the situation?
Man, you realize that you're the only thing that's stopping these villains. Like, you're the only one that's stopping this. The police have done absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah. But like he's like, Selena, we can do this together. He doesn't even do the voice. He just like talks normally like Michael. He takes off the mask. But he's like, we're going to bring this guy to the police. We're going to keep him alive. Then he takes off his mask. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like what? Like
what's
what?
Max Shrek is like, Bruce, why are you dressed up as Batman? It's like, because he is Batman.
Yeah, are you an idiot? Like they just give away their like in this one. He doesn't seem to care at all. Who knows he's Batman? Who doesn't?
Jeez, no.
He's just like casually taking off his mask. He's like talking about it openly in a ball. You know? It's like, yeah, I'm Batman. You know, you're Catwoman. I see how this is. You know,
it works.
It works. Yeah. But yeah, it does. It really. The film is better because it doesn't focus on Michael Keaton's Batman at all. You know. The villains are very good. Yeah.
Because, like, that's the best. Because, like, as much as people talk about Batman, everyone always talks about, like, the villains. You know, we talk about Bane. We talk about Joker.
Batman's the real villain.
Batman is the real villain, especially in those Christopher Nolan films.
Yeah. But, like, this one makes it so more obvious because he's hanging on to this, like, I don't know, like the idea of like the police solving the thing, but like the police have no presence whatsoever in in this film or the last film at all. Like this is a failed state he's basically operating in. Yeah, he's like, let's bring it to the police.
I also don't understand why his problem is with killing Max Shrek, because he has definitely there's a bit where he gets a bomb and he sticks it into a guy's stomach and then he kicks him down into a fucking sewer and it just blows up. It's like you literally just murdered that man.
Yeah.
You 100% murdered that guy.
He kills Catwoman 5 times.
Yeah. It's like, and now you got a fucking problem with her killing this guy?
Yeah.
The guy that killed her earlier on in the film? Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's only cool when I'm doing it. I'm like, gonna blow up people and it looks cool.
Yeah, Batman openly kills people in the last film.
Yeah. It's like, shut up with your moral stance on this one, pal. Just because he's rich.
Yeah, I have a monopoly on violence in this city, okay?
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Brucey.
But it is good. And like I love one of my favorite bits is when like Penguin takes over the Batmobile and he's in his van in a toy version of the Batmobile, and he's like driving around in this like car. It's a great image. Like Danny DeVito looks so fucking weird in this. He has absolutely no ass.
Yeah, yeah.
But the size of him, he has absolutely no ass.
Yeah, the shape,
Yeah.
the shape of him, it's so funny. Yeah, when like the camera, like it's like a full body shot.
Yeah.
It's like this guy.
How?
Yeah, how did he get that
Oh,
figure?
fucking hell.
But yeah, it is. I would put money on this being the best of the series.
This is definitely the best.
Yeah, like no doubt.
Because like
We haven't
apparently,
even seen the next two, but
yeah, but I know it's not gonna be as good as Batman Forever. Like Batman Forever is not gonna be as good as this film.
no way.
No way. Val Kilmer is not gonna hit it out of the park. Like is Joel Schumacher as well the next?
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
I think
Or is
he
that Batman and Robin? I don't know.
I think he does both. We got Jim Carrey in the next one and fucking.
Oh, the Riddler, is it?
Yeah, we got Riddler and Two-Face.
Fucking Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
That's mad.
I feel like Tommy Lee Jones might be better than Jack Nicholson.
As the villain, like.
Yeah, I'm putting money on that. That's my bet for
I
next
could
week.
see that because he would be a very good villain.
And I feel like it's gonna be cheesy in the right kind of ways. Fingers crossed. I don't know.
Val Kilmer though, what has he been good in? He's one good film.
What?
Heat.
Yeah, I suppose. And he's like not really in that film either. Like he's in it, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's not the focus.
Yeah, true. But we'll see.
Is he in Point Break?
He is, isn't he?
I think he is. Which also is not a very good film from what I've heard. My sister watched that and she didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah. But sure look.
Sherlock.
We get the bat nips.
Do you think Batman Forever will be as good as the new Texas Chainsaw film?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it'll be better, yeah.
So it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. It'll just be bad. It won't be very bad.
Much like
It won't
Halloween.
be
It won't be shite. Fucking hell. This is like
Texas Chainsaw 2022.
what's it? Yeah, this is Texas.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, isn't it?
Yeah, I
But
absolutely
no "the" in front of it.
no the.
Mm.
I absolutely hate how they have titled Texas Chainsaw Massacre because you got the first one, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then you have the remake called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then you have the 2013 film Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, Texas Chainsaw.
Mm.
And then you have this one called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's not including Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and then the 2016 film Leatherface.
Yeah.
What a load of bollocks.
They should have just put a subtitle on it. Or go with Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Like, Texas isn't that important.
Oh, jeez, in this film it is.
I suppose it
This is a very Texas film.
Boy, you're in Texas now, honey.
Boy, you're in Leatherface County.
Don't you know Leatherface runs this county? It's like, it's so on the nose. It's very on the nose. Yeah, this film is very, very... It's like a chainsaw to the face.
It's visceral.
You know? Yeah,
It's viscerally bad.
Subtlety. Yeah, honestly, I was expecting worse. This is my hot take, is I was expecting a lot worse, to be honest. I have to say.
I mean, to be honest, I was as well, but I still absolutely fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Like, I think... I keep flip-flopping back and forth. Like, is this worse or better than Halloween Kills?
This is way worse. No, sorry, this is way better.
But like, I think that the kills are better than in Halloween Kills. Like, if I'm just gonna, as a popcorn film, because neither of these are faithful to the series that I love. As
The
a
series,
popcorn
the
film,
film.
like the films
There's
themselves.
only one good film.
Yeah, I know. I know.
This is a 9th film. We've only had one good one. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's actually amazing how they did that.
Yeah. Like how, like that actually takes effort, doesn't it? Yeah.
How do you consistently make bad films in a franchise
Yeah.
and have 9 goes at it?
Yeah, like they have so much to go off. Like, oh, this didn't work. Let's just try the same thing again.
So this time it's adding cancel culture.
Yeah. Oh god. Well, see, my position would be is this film reaches a point where it jumps the shark very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because for a while, like the whole setup, these teenagers are buying a town in
With gentrification.
gentrification, yeah, and there's a school shooting plot as well.
Oh my god.
In there, and there's these young people, young influencers, liberal, metropolitan, you know, kind of people are buying a like ghost town in Texas. Little do they know, Leatherface works there. He lives there with his ma, and a whole series of events happen. And for quite a while, it's fairly serious. You know, it's fairly po-faced. It feels very like it's approaching. It's trying to do some commentary on school shooting and like gun violence and gentrification, as you said. But like then it reaches a point. There's a certain scene that like this film will be remembered by. The only thing it'll ever be remembered by is the bus scene. You know, the main scene that you see in the trailer and that we've mentioned before, where Leatherface gets onto the bus, and the first reaction these people have is to like start filming him and be like, "Bro, try anything and you get cancelled." And then he proceeds to kill every single person on the bus, like in graphic detail.
And it's a gore-tastic time.
Yeah, there's so much gore, and it's like it's fan service basically, because there's no other reason to show that, because it just kind of removes all stakes.
Yeah,
because like pretty much every character is dead except for the two main characters.
Yeah, it's everyone's dead. And that's basically that is like the end of the film. But then Sally shows up.
Yeah. But like the film jumps the shark, and it becomes like, whether like willing or not, it becomes something of like a comedy in the vein of like Texas Chainsaw 2 or something like that, you know. It's a bit silly at that point.
Yeah.
Even though maybe it tries to be serious as it goes on. But Halloween Kills was trying to be serious the entire way.
Yeah.
The entire way, like.
I suppose. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Yeah, maybe. But I don't know, because I just think...
It does go back to being serious, though.
I think the politics in this film is absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
Absolutely abysmal. Like the entire... Like the whole thing of this film is like these liberals come in buying up this town, and they're not really aware of the situation that they're in, because they're stupid millennials that think that they can just come into redneck territory and just buy up land and make it their own.
They're always
home.
on their phones.
They're always on their phones. They think they're gonna make this place a utopia.
Yeah.
But they rock up and there's a Confederate flag hanging outside of one of the houses, and they just storm in and they rip down the flag, and it's like an orphanage. And the old woman comes out and she's like, "What are you doing in my home?" And they're like, "We own this." And he's just like, she's like, "No, you don't." He's like, "Oh, we own this building." He's like, "Get this fucking flag out of here. You're out of here. You're getting thrown out." And she's like, "Don't do this." Because she's not even like, "Don't kick me out of the house." Like, "You're going to unleash the beast that's upstairs."
Yeah, my son is upstairs.
He's like, don't kick me out, because there's nowhere for him to go. And if there's nowhere for him to go, you are all fucked. And
you can tell, like, who's her son? You know?
Yeah, and then just doof, doof, doof.
Yeah.
Big boy standing at the top of the stairs, and like, geez, this 6-year-old is looking very good.
yeah. He's really in shape.
Even more, man. He has to be like 70 in this film.
Wait, how is?
Because he's definitely older than Michael Myers. There's no.
Oh no, yeah, he would be 70.
Yeah,
according to like the timeline, he's at least 70. Because like that's, say he's 18 in 1974,
and he's definitely not.
He's not. He's like at most at youngest, he's like early 20s. You know? But like that's 50 years.
Yeah.
So like he's 70 plus. But like, who's the mom in, like, where is she in the original? Because this is a direct sequel. This, by the way, doesn't count any of the Texas Chainsaw films.
Yeah, this is
a direct sequel in the style of Halloween 2018. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole thing though, like, the orphanage, like, what the fuck is going on here? How did he get there? Where's the dad? Because the dad never died in the original one. So like, from what I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, like,
I don't understand Leatherface's timeline from where, you know.
How is the mom alive? She must be 100 years old.
That's also another. Yeah, actually, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, she would have to be like 90, 100 years old.
At least 90, yeah.
And like,
yeah, she's not in the original,
and she's not as like fucked up as her family, because she's like normal kind of, but like the family that, like, if you look at the family in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, how the fuck was she part of that family? She's a very normal person.
Yeah.
She's reasonable. She's like, please. She's like, oh, don't take this home, because like you're gonna unleash Leatherface. Meanwhile, her husband's like, get him, Leatherface, go get him. Like, you know,
it is very funny.
I don't understand how Leatherface got to this stage, but anyway, leave that aside. She ends up dying because they try to kick her out of the house.
She has a heart attack.
She has a heart attack, and one of them goes off with Leatherface and the two cops with her in the ambulance, kind of, and she dies, and Leatherface massacres them. Absolutely destroys them.
That is a good scene, to be fair.
It is a good scene.
That is
I was very disappointed though, because there's a shot in the trailer and in this film where Leatherface stands up in a sunflower field, or like a cornfield, whatever, and like, because of the color grading, he kind of blends in. But like, my Netflix keeps actually showing it. I'll just show you the image here, because my Netflix keeps it's almost like they're listening to me and they know that I like this shot, because they keep fucking showing it. See that image?
Yeah, I see.
I think that's a really good image. That's not really in the film. That's just
because he is in a sunflower field, but like, it's not like that scene where he holds up the mask.
Yeah,
or that shot. Like, it's kind of like, it's really obscured. It's like it's from the perspective of the character, and she's trying not to be seen.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it doesn't have it does it, I think it works still, but like it's not as dramatic, I suppose, as the trailer.
Yeah.
Whereas like the posters and stuff.
But like, because I was expecting when I saw the trailer that like, oh, she's gonna escape the car, and then he's gonna stand up in the cornfield, and then you like that's him coming after her. But that's not what happens. He kills her, and then after he kills her, it just cuts to him just randomly just standing up in the sunflower field, and he just walks back to the town. I was like, that shot, that image wasn't used effectively.
Yeah.
It wasn't used for the good horror that I think that's in it.
They could have definitely done something better with that.
And then they're talking about like, oh shit, we killed the old woman, and then they're like, and then there's like two main influencers that are buying up the town. The girl goes to the boy, do we definitely own that house? And he's like, yeah, no, we definitely do. And he's rooting through, and he realizes, oh shit, I don't have the deed. And then they go back into the house to see if she has the deed, and she does. They actually don't own the house. So like, these characters have wronged this old woman and Leatherface. Like they have now wrongfully come into this town and start claiming up land that they don't own, which is a bit fucking weird take.
Well, it's also like these people are like, it's not like it's just this innocent old woman. She's harboring a killer who's like still he was still being hunted as well.
Yeah, but
know?
It's like
yeah, it is like they're supposed to be innocent.
Don't unleash the beast, basically. You know, don't mess with land that you don't know, or whatever.
Yeah.
All the meanwhile, you have this redneck conservative that goes around toting, like, he's showing his gun everywhere, and he befriends a school shooting survivor.
Yeah, well, that whole subplot is just absolutely so unnecessary.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
It's so bad. It's so stupid. Well, like, yeah, the Elsie Fisher, she's the she
absolutely wasted.
Yeah.
Absolutely wasted in this film.
Yeah, because she was in 8th grade. She's very good in 8th grade, and she's in this, and she's a school shooting survivor, and there's like flashback scenes and stuff like that where she's like on the floor, and she's traumatized obviously because she was in the school shooting, and but there's like a weird kind of like a subplot about gun violence that just kind of ends about halfway into the film.
No, man, it doesn't. It's at the very climax where like
she
picks up the gun. She comes to realize maybe guns can be used for good.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe.
After being in a school shooting.
Yeah. Well, like,
stupid libs just need to realize that guns can be used for good.
Yeah, for killing Leatherface, but again, she fails. You know, because I don't know, but like it's just so unnecessary.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason to have it, and it's so cringeworthy. But yeah, the conservative guy, he's like. He's like a mad trope. He's such a cliche. Mm-hmm. But then he gets fucked up so bad that it kind of makes up for how bad the character is.
Yeah, he dies. He dies a very heroic death.
Yeah, it's very like, I don't know. It's just satisfying because like that was a really good kill. I think I don't even like stuff like that, but I think that was really
absolutely
satisfying.
Jeez, he bashed his fucking brains in.
Yeah.
But even like the way that he dies though is a heroic death. Like he gets his leg snaps in half and he keeps fighting Leatherface.
Yeah, he bends his knee back.
Compare that to all the liberal people who are on the bus and they're all running like rats trying to scamper away. It's like, look at the cowardly libs running away from danger. Meanwhile, the true Texan redneck conservative gun-toting hero fights to the last moment, and even in his dying breath he takes out the car keys to give it to the girl so that I can't escape, but maybe you can. And then they do the exact same thing when Sally shows up, because she's a gun-toting redneck conservative, and she fights to the very end.
Yeah, but they
do it
twice. They both get fucked up.
They both
lose very badly.
I'm just talking about the politics of the film, though. Like the politics are so bad.
Yeah, it's not great optics, but the film itself is very bad optics.
Yeah.
Just in a general sense.
It's also like it's a kind of a generic film.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
You know, like it's a generic
like
Texas Chainsaw film.
Like I wouldn't watch this film at all if it wasn't Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, absolutely
I would not watch this.
No way.
You know, so I don't know even if this is like the standard for like horror films these days. You know, I don't know.
She's after Halloween Kills, kind of.
It could be because this is the best I can come up with apparently. But yeah, it's weird. I love how at the start of the film when they're establishing that he's like, like they do the whole like opening kind of like exposition about these people died like in Texas in 1974 and all this stuff, and it goes back to present day, and Elsie Fisher's in the gas station, and Leatherface is still kind of like a mythological figure because he got away with it, and they sell like merchandise.
He's a folktale kind of.
Yeah, and they have merchandise, and she's like looking at a poster on the wall, and it's like a freshly like printed out poster. Like, it's just like of his mask. So, did they ever catch him? He was wearing a mask. How are they gonna know who he is?
Yeah, how are you gonna find someone you never know what he looks like?
No shit, like it's so rude.
Arsehole.
Yeah. That was funny though.
I really like Leatherface's design in this film though as well.
Yeah, no, he is good. Yeah, he
like
looks good.
This is one of the better designs of Leatherface.
Definitely, yeah.
Like he, as you said, like he looks like a butcher, you know.
Yeah, he's hefty. He has a lot of heft to him, even though he is 7 years old.
He is a big boy.
Yeah, he is like. It's kind of. I don't know. It is there because like you know the way like Michael Myers is like 7 years old as well. You know, but like there's kind of like. It still works more. Like the violence is just like there's no. I think the graphics itself, like the gristle, like the gristle, like there's so much gore in the film, but it doesn't feel very tactile at all.
Yeah.
Like when he's sticking chainsaws into people, it's like that's terrible.
Yeah,
graphics.
it doesn't.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There is something. Maybe it's just a kind of fault with the idea of him wielding a chainsaw or something. Because like every kill is just someone going like that.
Literally.
It's like it's not like Michael Myers like beating someone to death.
Yeah, when you can feel it.
Yeah. Or like getting stabbed. Like I don't know. There's something.
Yeah, it's literally people who are like he's like sticking chainsaws on them and they're like whoa, and they're like flailing and stuff. It's like that's not what would happen.
Yeah,
you know?
It'd be a lot worse
that's
than that.
Definitely not. Yeah, it'd be a lot worse than that. Yeah.
What did you think of the ending?
The ending.
Actual ending.
The actual like there's a false ending and then there's the real ending.
Yeah.
The actual ending is a spit in the face. It's an insult. It's an insult to everyone, not even Texas Chainsaw fans.
It's an insult to my intelligence.
Yeah, it's an insult to everyone who pays for a Netflix subscription that they would you know, buy this thinking that people would appreciate what happens at the end, you know. That they wouldn't step in and be like, cut that out.
Yeah.
Cut that out.
Just end the fucking film.
Yeah. Just have it like obviously he's not gonna die. Everyone knows that. There's no need to say it specifically.
Yeah.
No explicit need, you know.
In the most stupid way possible.
Even the way he dies is so stupid. Like the way, like, because basically there's a big showdown in the barn. Everyone's dead except for the Elsie Fisher's character and one of the influencers.
Yeah, her sister.
Yeah, her sister. Yeah, and there's kind of like a fight, and they're going back and forth. And he gets shot at one point.
He gets shot twice.
Yeah, but he's invincible obviously because he's Leatherface. And your one sister gets a chainsaw, you know. There's like everything's changed. Suddenly the tables have turned. Leatherface is unarmed, and he's an unarmed civilian.
Yeah.
And she takes him down. But like, yeah, she swings the chainsaw. He's like,
please, I'm just a pensioner.
Yeah. She kills an old man, but she swings the chainsaw at him and gets his jaw. And that's like the way he falls back. He just like it's like he dies straight away.
Yeah,
that was so stupid.
I was looking, I was like, why are you not like finish this fucking dude off?
Yeah,
because if you hit someone with a chainsaw like that, if I hit you with a chainsaw like that, I don't think I would have killed you.
No, yeah, you wouldn't die.
Yeah,
you'd just be like, oh,
yeah.
fuck.
I was like, oh shit, I just mangled Mark's jaw.
Yeah. But yeah, and then just it's like I don't know where I've seen it before, but it feels like it was a trope in like early 2000s horror films or whatever, where like they just let him sink to like the bottom of some random pool, which is for some reason in the barn. And
I don't know.
It's like, oh, he's dead, and they ride off into the sunset. But then the ending is just like, come on.
It's like they get into their Tesla, and
they that's another thing. We didn't mention that. They have a Tesla, like a self-driving car,
and they're like, right. They knock on the self-driving car, and it goes about 2 miles an hour, and then Leatherface just runs up and grabs one of them out of the car and just decapitates her, while the other one's like looking, screaming like no, slowly driving off.
Yeah.
It's like Leatherface ran up to your car. Drive your fucking car now.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, like you can drive the car.
Yeah.
Like it's so slow. It's
so slow.
They're like, oh, thank God we survived. Everyone else is dead. That's how about cruise control or
let's chill out a bit. We've been through a lot.
Sunday drive. They stick on the radio and it's like going at 2 miles an hour. It's a Tesla as well. It's so funny.
Oh my fucking God.
It's so funny.
For fuck's sake.
This is the first film maybe that I've seen that is like a real artifact of 2022. Like this will age like absolute milk, but it will always be kind of you'll be able to refer back to it and be like Tesla's is like, you know, like all this kind of like cancel culture and all this stuff. Like this is symbolic of a moment in time.
It really is. It really is. See, part of me is kind of just like, am I just on the wrong political spectrum for this film? If I was a right winger, would I love this film's politics? And I assume I would.
I don't. It's on Netflix, man. They wouldn't go near something that's like.
I suppose, yeah.
You know? I don't know.
But if I was a conservative, I probably would enjoy this film more.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it have that kind of reaction? I think everyone's hated it.
I think everyone's hated it.
Yeah.
I think everyone's hated it.
Yeah.
I saw one positive review on Letterboxd and I was like, you are just being contrarian with your take.
Oh, they actually liked it.
They gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. I was like, that's a load of bollocks.
Yeah,
that's a load of bollocks.
Yeah, you're just trying to drum up kind of controversy there.
Like, you have discredited yourself as a Letterboxd reviewer.
You just commented that.
Yeah. It's like, you
have failed us.
Yeah, you have failed the Letterboxd community just because you're trying to be like, have your contrarian like, no, this wildly hated film is actually really good. It's like, no, it's not.
I think even like if Joe Rogan fucking reviewed this, he'd be like, this is shite. Because like it just isn't good enough to sustain. Even if you liked its politics, it's like there's nothing else.
Yeah, there's
nothing else there really.
Because even like the kills, there's not that many kills.
The initial kills are great, but
the
then
first one where he snaps the dude's arm, just jams the broken bone into his neck is sick.
That's a great start, and then you have the showdown in the house where he caves in your man's knee.
Yeah,
and like it's really good. It's like tactile, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
like it makes you turn away,
and you don't see it coming either.
Yeah. It's out of nowhere.
I even like the build up to that where like she's hiding. I like that bit where like she's hiding in the house, and it's like, oh fucking hell, like this dude is gonna fuck me up, and like she hears the guy coming and Leatherface is hiding, and she just like slightly moves the mirror, and he comes in, he just sees Leatherface behind the door. Doesn't matter though, because it's Leatherface. He's gonna fuck you up anyway.
Yeah.
Good shit.
But then it just like, as we were saying, like the graphics and just like the acting is for every other kill is just shit.
Yeah,
just terrible. Even the last one, it's like
the beheading didn't look good.
It looked terrible.
It didn't look good.
Terrible.
Did you stick around for the post-credit scene?
I did not. I did not know there was a post-credit scene. Let's watch it now. I've never seen this before.
It's real short. It's like nothing. I'll show you it in here.
Is it meaningful?
Oh, absolutely not. What do you think it is before I show you this?
The sequel?
Not the
Set
sequel.
up to a sequel. Whoa.
Jesus, those headphones.
Oh, I did see this.
You did see this?
He's just walking back to town.
Just him. No. It's not him walking back to town.
Oh, yeah.
He's going back to the gaff. back home.
I'm back. All right.
It's like, Ma, Pa, put on the stove.
Yeah. Stick on the kettle there, lad.
There you go.
Intense music. I like that bit though.
I thought the music was pretty good. The music actually, for the most part, was pretty good. Like the actual, score.
There are kind of like there are parts of the film that aren't that bad. Even it's not made that terribly either. Like the directing and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the writing, the acting,
the acting, the kills,
the plots.
The plot's a lot. Yeah. Didn't even talk about fucking Sally coming back yet.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, she's an Irish actor as well. Irish actor. Alwyn Foray. She's from Galway.
Jeez, we can't even pronounce our own Irish names.
I think it's a French name or something.
Okay, right.
But she's Sally and she comes back. But I like how they didn't just directly copy and paste Halloween 2018. Like they
kind of did, but they didn't.
Yeah. They're like, this is too obvious. Let's kill her off.
They're like, she's not really. I thought she was going to be in it much more than she was.
Same, yeah.
Even like, I do like the bit where she is in like the sunflower field and she stumbles across the bodies, and it's like the bodies are done like at the very start of the original film, like the macabre fucking like weird statue thing that they do. Like Leatherface has done that again. I like that. But then when she comes into town,
it gets a bit cringy.
It's like, stay here, I'm gonna kill Leatherface.
Yeah.
What did you think about the bit where she's like, do you remember me?
I thought that was really good.
I thought that was great
because like they could have easily been like, Leatherface is like, oh, she's the one who got away. Even like there's a part in the film where it's kind of like half established that Leatherface seems to be. I think it's Sally who says it. It's like, he's after yous. Yeah. And I was like, that's not the point of the character, is it? Like, he's just a confused kid basically. He's like really mad. But like then the next scene, pretty much. She's like, oh, he doesn't know who I am. He's
Yeah.
no idea who he's killing.
Yeah,
he's just
doesn't-
killing people.
He just doesn't care.
I thought that was good.
Even like, because I was like, oh, please don't have him like turn his head and like look at her.
Yeah.
He and not only that, he just walks away. He like she's pointed a gun at him. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, whatever. I got other shit to do.
yeah. I'm not gonna win this fight.
I
I'm just
love
gonna
that.
go somewhere else.
Because it's like, it was similar. Like, you know the way in Halloween Kills where they're like, he's not after Laurie. Was that in the Halloween Kills?
Yeah.
Like, he's not really after Laurie. Like, I don't, like, when they did that, I was like, like, whatever.
Yeah.
It was poorly done, that film. But the fact that it's like, here's a standoff between, you know, Sally and Leatherface. And Leatherface, like, much like the fact that Sally really isn't, she's not Laurie. You know, she isn't this, like, consistent character throughout the entire franchise. She's just the one that got away in the first film, and that's
She
really it.
happens to have gotten away.
Yeah, like, it could have been, like,
Anyone, yeah.
it doesn't really matter because she doesn't come up again.
Well, definitely wasn't gonna be Franklin, but it was.
Yeah. And I like the way that Leatherface is like, yeah, I don't know who you are. And it's like, yeah, the franchise itself doesn't really know who she is, so that's cool.
yeah, because it was kind of leading up to that. Because she was like, I think when she first sees him, she says all the names of the people that, all of her friends, the people that were killed in the
And she
original
shows
film.
she shows him a photo as well.
Yeah, and he's just like, I don't care. He's
He's like, I don't know that.
I couldn't give a
I
rat.
was like, I've killed so many people.
Yeah,
He's like, I've literally butchered like 30 people on the bus like 15 minutes before.
yeah. I really like that part. See, like I had some decent ideas.
It does have some decent parts in it,
Mm.
but it's got overwhelming bad parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's a huge shame because there is. This is the ninth one, is it? 8th, 9th, and it's still absolutely dog shit.
Where would you rank it in the
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. Where would I
second
rank it?
worst for me?
Second worst.
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen the remakes. I would say. Oh, that's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know because I've seen the first 4.
Mm-hmm. And you've seen the first remake. You saw the Michael Bay one, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I suppose this is I'd say it's the third worst.
Third worst.
I'd say
Mm.
because. Yeah.
Oh, what's worse than this one for you?
I didn't like the second one at all,
Yeah, fair.
and the third one wasn't that bad, but it wasn't good either.
Wasn't good either.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe second, third worst.
Yeah.
There are no good ones.
Yeah,
Like,
there aren't.
It's
That's
hard
the thing.
It's hard to distinguish.
It's so weird that the first film is genuinely the only good one.
The only good one. It's like I think it's just a complete piece, and there's no need to add anything to it. Really, just make a new film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like because I watched a video on Hills of Eyes, like similar thing. There's a whole franchise with Hills of Eyes. There's like 4 films in that franchise. The only good one is the first one.
Really, yeah.
Yeah,
The first one isn't that good.
it's not even that good. Yeah,
Yeah. I think there's a weird thing. I saw Mark Kermode did a review of this, and he's talking about how like none of the films, like there is like 8 sequels ish, but they all focus on Leatherface, who isn't like really. He's not like
it's the family.
He's the main. Yeah, he is the main villain in the first one, but like he's a part of a family, which is the real main villain, and like the dad is kind of in it just as much as he is, and it's like just as villainous and it's kind of behind Leatherface.
Yeah,
But like you don't focus at no point in any of the sequels except for the second one, I suppose. Is there any focus on the original family or what was going on?
because even like in because I would say that the fourth one is the second best one, and in that one, Matthew McConaughey is the villain. Like the Next Generation.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
Next Generation, like that's and like similar thing, like that's the that is like the best one out of the sequels, like in a very obtuse kind of way. But like that's like Matthew McConaughey is basically like a more sane vocal Leatherface, I guess.
Yeah, and there's still like that. Like that's still called Leatherface, isn't it? Like that was the original title of that film, Leatherface something, because it wasn't called Texas Chainsaw Next Generation. Because there is an undue focus. I think if they focus on the family unit,
it's
rather
better
than specifically him, maybe they'd have something. But
yeah, I agree.
It's repeating the same mistakes. It's time, man. It's a circle.
It's a circle, man.
Leatherface predicted this at the end of the first one, man. It just goes round and round.
What did you think of him swinging his chainsaw again?
Yeah. It's like a
Not
lot
the same.
Yeah. You watched the first one as well.
Jeez, I actually didn't even think about the fact that is the ending of this film is a callback to the first film because she's driving away. Because Sally's driving away at the end of the first film, and she's like screaming and crying, and that's what Isla Fisher's character is doing in this one.
Yeah, she's in a Tesla.
She's in a
Self-driving
Tesla. Self-driving. Oh.
Yeah, the first one she's in the back of a dusty pickup truck,
Yeah.
you know, that's just run over. Or like seeing him getting run over and all. And this one she's in a Tesla that's getting self-driving.
How
away.
the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. That is... It's a lot of shit anyway. Don't watch it.
Load of bollocks. We go for a break.
We'll go for a break. And now for our recommended film of the week. Network, directed by Sidney Lumet, written by Paddy Chayefsky, starring Peter Finch. Did you know the way Heath Ledger won the posthumous Academy Award?
Oh, yeah.
It's the second time that happened. The first time it ever happened was with this guy, Peter Finch. He won an Academy Award for this role, for playing Howard Beale in Network, but he died before he could receive it. Obviously.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
He died, but he won. So that was the first time it ever happened.
Mad.
So yeah,
Deserved it. He's very good in this film.
he is great in this film. Yeah, this is Network. I'm gonna read the synopsis now. In this lauded satire, veteran news anchor Howard Beale discovers that he's being put out to pasture, and he's none too happy about it.
By God, is he not?
After threatening to shoot himself on live television, instead he launches into an angry televised rant, which turns out to be a huge ratings boost for the UBS network. This stunt allows ambitious producer Diana Christensen to develop even more outrageous programming, a concept that she takes to unsettling extremes.
This is Network.
This is Network. It's about a TV network.
It's very good.
It is one of the greatest films ever made, apparently.
Do you love this film?
I love this film. I think it's an amazing film. I think it's
you
extremely well written, very well
It
done.
is very, very well written.
Yeah,
this is Paddy Chayefsky coming back with a hit after the fucking turd that was Altered States.
This is before, he's coming back in our lore, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he kind of disavowed himself because that was such a bad film. But this was a film that he was, because Altered States, we talked about the conflict between him and Ken Russell. In this one, he was very much behind the entire project all the way through, and he's kind of steering it because he was already recognized as like an all-time great in writing. I think he won the Academy Award as well for the screenplay for this as well.
Yeah, deserved.
Which makes sense. But it was a very ad hoc kind of production. Like there wasn't any clear kind of direction for where it's going, and you can tell in the film because it does it veers off in different directions. It seems like it's going global, and then suddenly it goes back. Because that was the original idea. That was going to be like a kind of a film that deals with global issues, but also like the between countries and corporations, like international clashes, but also like
conglomerates.
But also like the atomic kind of conflicts between the individuals and the characters themselves. But it is an allegory at the end of the day. So the characters themselves stand in for different kind of interests and different different kinds of spirit in the media landscape, the media world, the communications landscape.
Which is our forte.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Basically. Yeah.
I did a media degree.
Yeah, bro. What did you think of this film?
That was great. That was really, really good. I how do you even begin to talk about this film?
I don't know.
I guess the key scene that anyone would have known from this film is the monologue of him I'm mad as hell and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I've that's all I know about this film. Before watching it was that's the scene. I was like, okay, that's the climax of the scene, and we're gonna get to that. That's the climax of the film, and we're gonna get to that towards the end of the film. Nope, that's in the first 30, 40 minutes, and then then I was watching. I was like, oh, okay, that's not the. So wait, he goes even more mental than that, and by God, he becomes a fucking televangelist, kind of character, but against corporations. But the corporation is using him to make more profits. Gets co-opted to bits.
He's co-opted. He's commodified. He's the whole iconic scene is I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. And you have people all across America
I'm mad as hell.
Yeah, they're shouting out their windows, and they're joining in this democratic upheaval, this evolution, which is brought about by the TV screen basically. But the film isn't about that at all. Well, it is about that, but it's about how that is completely it's an illusion. It's a complete falsity. It's very media critical, very television critical, especially about networks in general. Yeah, it's basically about how networks will literally kill to get good ratings. Yeah, and how it's all about ratings. It's all about the profit motive. It's all about ad revenue, and there's shady people in the background who are making sure things tick over properly. It doesn't matter what you know, and it's like some madcap eccentric newscaster says, or what the people, how enthusiastic people are about what's being said. It's all about, you know, it's all just kind of a mask for the processes going on underneath and behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is like a very, there's a lot going on in the film.
Yeah, there is
a serious amount going on. It's not very linear at all. It is kind of like, it's very messy.
It is, yeah, because even like in terms of like structure, I was like, where the fuck is this film going? Because it just keeps like going on, like, and like not like a negative way. It's just like it keeps going and going and like picking up different threads and like developing on those threads. Like at one stage, like near at the start of the film, they have footage of this terrorist group committing a bank robbery, and the terrorist group have filmed themselves doing this like bank robbery, and they're like, this is fucking like this is brilliant. We can make a series out of this. And they start funding the terrorist group to keep filming their terrorist acts and stuff like that, just so that they can get it. And then there's a scene where Christina, what the fucking name is?
Christina, yeah.
She's like talking to a character and explaining like, oh, the FBI came to us trying to like get all the footage, but we have been using they're making a television show basically out of this, but under the guise of like journalism and like being a news station, they're able to use the rights that news and journalists have, like using
confidentiality and stuff like that,
like things that are meant to help news be like
journalism, you know,
to be
quote,
journalism,
unquote, yeah.
But using that against the system to make profits. In a very like seedy, unethical way.
Yeah, cynical, very very cynical kind of look at all those things. Because the premise, like the basic, the way the film starts is that this news station UBS is being bought up by like a multinational conglomerate called CCA, I think, and they're doing big cutbacks. And one of the victims is Howard Beale, the main character, and because he's a newscaster and his ratings are shit. They're going down the tube because the problem is with Howard Beale, it's like, oh, he's so noble, he's so virtuous, he's he's from the early days of television. The problem with him is he tells the truth. He's a newswire, and people don't want to hear.
He's a talking head.
Yeah, he's a talking head. He's a newswire. People don't want to hear just the facts, the basic truth. They want personalities. They want
showmanship.
They want sensation. They want drama and stuff like that. So he's like pushed to the edge, and he's like, oh, I'm going to kill myself on
he
live
just
TV.
has a breakdown.
Yeah, he has a mental breakdown, and he's like, I'm going to kill myself on live TV. And he obviously gets pulled off the air, and they're like, "Oh, you're fucking mental. You're finished," you know. But the ratings went up, and so they're like, "Oh, we'll stick him on again." And he goes on again, and he's like, "It's supposed to be just like a final farewell." It's like, "Oh, sorry about that. Like I'm a respected newscaster. This is my farewell." But then he starts going on another rant, and the ratings shoot up again. So they get this idea into their head. Mainly Diana Christensen, the new ambitious producer. She's like, let's make a series out of this. Like, let's latch onto this because we can make money off it through ads. Because we're like, our rating shares through the roof. And they get all these other characters in, like a soothsayer and like people who like read the stars and televangelists, and it becomes like a variety show of like freaks, you know. But at the same time, it's supposed to be this kind of like speaking truth to power. Yeah. Like, oh, this is a moral crusade against the hypocrisies of our time. But it is, at the end of the day, it's just a charade that is just solely built to make money for the network. Yeah. So it's extremely cynical in that way. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's like it's basically just extremely cynical. There's no real light at the end of the tunnel.
There isn't. Yeah, it's like, this is kind of the way that it is. Which is like, it's like there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no like if Neon Genesis ended in a way is like, yeah, death is the only option for loneliness or whatever like that. It's like, oh, this is really cynical and grim and nihilistic. But at least there's a bit of hope in Neon Genesis, but there's no hope in Network. There's no... Yeah. It's like, this is just the way that it is.
Yeah, because everything he's saying, Howard Beale, once he becomes this kind of... this prophet of modern times, like televisual prophet, everything he's saying is like, yeah, that's true. Like, you can get behind it. It's like, this guy is like great...
He's not, and he himself is like, I don't have an answer to how to fix this.
Yeah. He's just kind of...
He's a problem.
He's kind of shouting into the dark.
Yeah.
And people latch onto that because they all feel... Like, this is the 70s. And
70s, man, what a fucking time.
What a time because they talk about it in the film, like the cultural political context. They talk about OPEC and like the inflation and the oil crisis and all these things. Saudis come into it at the end of the film. It's all about like a time when things seem really uncertain, seem really dark, and people are unsure of where to turn.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy Howard Beale, this false prophet, basically, not down to his own intentions, but basically the system that he's within. This guy is like showing a way for people to kind of not even to push back, but to like
just vent.
Yeah, to vent. It's it's kind of like it's like the way a lot of news works now in America. Because when this was first released, there was a big pushback from journalists and stuff like that, and news people, because they're like, this is unrealistic. Like people are like, this would never happen. Like this is just like it's so it's way too cynical. And obviously, no one's been killed on live TV yet by communist guerrillas, but there is still time for that to happen. But I don't know
if the RTE's ratings get real bad. Who knows?
Yeah, man, the pandemic, they're gonna go after them. But like it is the way it kind of works now. You have people like in America, they have like you had like Sean Hannity and like Rush Limbaugh, all those people.
Chris Tucker.
Was it Carlson Tucker? Is it? Tucker Carlson.
Who the fuck is Chris Tucker?
He's a man from Rush Hour.
As soon as I was like, that's not his name.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson, Rachel
fuck that dude.
Rachel Maddow, Trevor Noah, even people like that, who like they present the news, but at the same time, there's no news involved. It's just them presenting, things that might have happened through a very specific kind of ideological bent that appeals to the viewers. And it doesn't matter if the viewers change their minds next week. The news anchors will completely go with them. You know? Like they don't care. They're only there to make money. They're just like avatars of capital.
Mm-hmm.
And this film, Howard Beale is completely kind of like he's had a breakdown. He's not responsible for what he's like the kind of role he's taking, but he is within that system as well. Like like it is an allegory, so different characters stand for different things. Robert Duvall is in this film, the guy from Godfather and like Apocalypse Now and stuff like that. Great actor. He's Hackett, who is a hatchet man for...
He's a hack.
He's a hack. He is like a pure avatar of capital itself. He doesn't... Or maybe just like business people, just big business in general, because all he cares about is... It's even said in the film, like this guy is just a pure company man. He doesn't care about anything at all. He just wants to get onto the board of the company. He wants the results. Like when he first talks to the... I suppose it's not even the main character. When he first talks to the producer, Max Schumacher, who represents kind of like the early days of television, like the old... Yeah,
the old ways.
The virtuous...
Where there was integrity.
Yeah, the virtuous journalist of old. And he's talking to Max Schumacher, and he's head of news at UBS, and he's like, you've had a deficit for like the last 10 years, $30 million a year. So he only cares about the money, like the actual numbers on the sheets, the balance sheets and stuff like that. Like he's completely against Howard Beale, and he's like, like this guy's fucking insane, get him off the air. But then once the financial opportunity of ads presents itself, he's like, he's like,
all for it.
Yeah, he's just like,
let him do whatever, let him say whatever he wants to say.
He changes completely like a weather vane.
Yeah.
So he represents that side of the business. And then you have different characters like Diana Christensen, the ambitious producer. She's kind of like the modern journalist. Who's like completely...
Who's grown up, seen she's literally like saying to Schumacher's like, I grew up watching you, but now it's time for me to take over. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's like it's that tension between the generational tension, I suppose. Like she doesn't have any ideological affinities. Like she doesn't care. Like she's working for big business, but at the same time she's allying herself with like communists and like ultra left people who like the communists don't even like because they're too extreme. You know, she's allying herself with them because it makes money.
Yeah,
and that's like
sensational.
That's how it all works. It's like completely beyond. It's post ideological. It's just about the cash at the end of the day.
Cash is king.
Cash is king, and it's really it's fitting for like the time, because this is 1976, and it's just around the time where you're getting into the whole post ideological era of like Reagan and Thatcher, where like they have some kind of underpinning ideas, is like, you know, the free market, you know, free movement of goods, all these things, free trade and stuff. But at the same time, it's purely about numbers. It's about cutting back. Like austerity, austerity will trickle down economics and all these things. It's all based purely on the balance sheets. Like there's no actual, you know, ideological scaffolding in there. You know, it is there, but it's not the point.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't really. Well, like we will say and do whatever we can just to make a profit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
which is like, it's so cynical, but like that's also true.
It's a fact, man.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Just when you were saying like when the journalists at the time were like, like that's not realistic, that wouldn't happen. have you ever seen that clip? I cannot remember who the guy is, but you've probably seen the clip where like he's an English fucking TV guy on whatever fucking channel, and he has like a guy come on and he's just like, so what do you do, Chris? But I was like, I'm a carpenter and I cut down trees and I make stuff from them. And he's just like, it's not really a renewable resource, is it? And it's like, well, it is because it's trees. And your man goes, yeah, but you can make, concrete is renewable. You can grow concrete.
Yeah.
And your man goes, no, you can't. It's like that is purely, he is going against the guest that he has, who has a different ideology to him, but he's just going to say whatever it is to go against that ideology just because his fans and his viewers want that.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
I will say the most fucking stupid thing that you can grow concrete.
Yeah.
As long as I get my views, I don't care.
Yeah, even though he knows it's not true.
Yeah.
You know? Or did you even see? I think there's a clip of Piers Morgan, and he had this girl on. She was like from like a left wing kind of media organization in the UK, and they're on talk about some issue back in 2016, 2015, and like he just straight away he went off topic, and he does this in like all his shows, like everything he does. He's just trying to get YouTube clips.
Yeah,
and like get views.
Despise him.
Oh, he's like literally, he's a snake.
Yeah,
he's not human.
Yeah,
but like he immediately went off topic. He's like, what would your hero Barack Obama think about this? And she was like, I don't like Obama. Like I'm a socialist. He's like, but Obama did this. Like he's not talking to her. Like there's no conversation going on in the clip. It's just Piers Morgan trying to drum up some sensation, some sense of something happening, some like illusion of motion.
Yeah,
it's just to keep people watching the screen until like, maybe people are like, oh, Piers Morgan is such a hack. Like look at this disgraceful clip, or they were like, oh, Piers Morgan, oh, he's fucking owning the libs or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all it's just generating numbers. Retweets, likes, views, stuff like that. It's all about the balance sheet at the end of the day.
Especially like in the time of social media, is this film ever fucking relevant? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Because you even see like a lot of callbacks. Like obviously, Don't Look Up had basically ripped off the main scene from this film, and with Leo DiCaprio, he's like on air and he does that whole rant and his face goes all red and stuff. We even have the scene where it's, I don't know, maybe it's at the end of the film. They're like they have a big bank of TV screens. It's Howard Beale dies. Spoiler alert. He gets shot at the end. He gets shot at the end by the communist guerrillas who have been paid to do it by the TV network.
Yeah, because Howard's not making as much money as he was.
Yeah, so the TV network, Big Capital, have paid the communists to kill their own employee because he's not making enough money anymore. It's like
that in itself is going to boost ratings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it's a vicious cycle there. But yeah, he dies, and there's like it pans or cuts to like a bank of TV screens, and half of them are covering his death, obviously, because it's very sensational. But half of them are just like ads and stuff like that. Like you see that a lot. Like, it was in Joker and stuff like that. Like at the end of Joker, you had like panning back from the bank of TV screens, and he's killing the TV. Basically, half of Joker is also ripped off from this as well.
Yeah, that's actually right. Yeah,
the killing on TV and stuff.
I'm a Joker. It's like, I'm mad as hell.
Yeah, even the rant and stuff.
And we live in a society.
yeah. But yeah, it is quite a. I wouldn't even say prescient, because it's just like it was going on back then. Like,
this has gone on for 50 years.
Yeah, this is just the way it works, really.
Yeah.
This is just the media landscape, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's I just love the way that the film depicts like how things are co-opted, and it's like Howard Beale he's going against the system, and then the system is like, oh, grand, you can go against us, you can say and do whatever you want against us, as long as you do it on our TV show. Because that way people are going to watch it.
yeah, exactly. And the only time there's any actual interference from, like, throughout the film, there's this kind of like shadowy figure. He's the CEO basically of CECA, like the conglomerate that's bought over UBS at the start of the film. His name is Jensen, and the only time he ever actually shows up in the film is when Howard goes on this, like, he kind of goes rogue again as part of his shtick. And he's talking about how like the Saudis are about to buy up CCA, like this like shadowy multinational who are like, they don't reveal who their interests are, like who the actual people behind it are, like what their intentions are. and he's talking about, oh, like send letters to the White House, like let's get this done, like we have the power of the people behind us.
You, the people.
Yeah, you, the people, can accomplish this, and it works, and it creates a big embarrassment for the company. But the next day, he's brought into like a meeting room, like a big long like drawing room kind of thing, like a dark thing, and it's like Jensen's at the other end of the table, and he turns the table, like literally, basically, and metaphorically. He goes on this big kind of like neoliberal evangelist rant, talking about like, Howard, you don't understand how the world works. Like you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, but you cannot interfere with these big kind of...
Yeah, you can actually make a change.
Yeah, you can't interfere with the money actually flowing. You know, like if you interfere with the money, then you're finished. And the only way, we can get out of this, like the utopia at the end of the road, is after you let us take care of everything. Like, let us make our money, and we'll let you do whatever you want to do, as long as you're making money for us. And it's basically summing up like I don't know, it's not the themes of the film, but it's like, it's an explanation of what is really going on. It's like it's a look at the like under the hood, basically. And it's like, it's really like theatrical and like on the nose, but at the same time, it's a great speech. And it wasn't added into the script until very late in the process, because Chayefsky had no idea how to end the film. He got, which you can kind of tell, because it's going everywhere. You know, they have like 4 or 5 different subplots, and eventually ties it up.
Dan and Schumacher have a love relationship, and like that's I was like, why the fuck is this in the film?
Yeah, that's like symbolic of like the old generation, the new generation, and eventually the old generation realized that they can't, like, they're physically and like kind of like emotionally aroused, they're like spellbound by this new kind of like generation of TV, generation of media communication.
Even the fact that she's the one woman as well, like the new generation's like, oh yeah, they got women involved as well. Yeah,
the women are coming up, but like they're like, the old generation are like morally repulsed by like what's going on, the new processes that are happening, you know, or at least, you know, maybe use that
a romanticized version, a romantic idea of the past. It's
very much romanticized, but it is, that's what it's supposed to be symbolic of.
But you know, you need to have, like, I guess for like the point of this film, you need to romanticize the past to make a point about your current situation.
You need a comparison.
Yeah, you need to have something to, you know, be like, it was slightly better back then, I guess.
It's
or like more or less the same back then as.
Yeah, like even journalism in general. Like, what do they point to? When was a time when journalism was actually good? People always...
what is the golden age of journalism?
Yeah, people talk about, they're like the fourth estate. They're like, you know, they hold democracy accountable and stuff like that. Like, I ever see the Washington Post, their motto, democracy dies in darkness. But if you log onto their website, it's all behind a paywall, you know? But like, and they have
That's so true,
and they have that film, The Post, with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. And you have loads of films like that, which are basically wanking off journalists.
Yeah,
like,
propaganda pieces.
These are the people who, like, you know, uphold our democracy. But like, when did that actually happen? Like, there was no period when that...
The French Revolution.
Even then, they made up, like, half that shit was made up.
Yeah, like Let Them Eat Cake is not real.
Yeah. Like, they used to, like, there's a guy, I actually saw some of his writings in Paris. There's a guy, Jacques Hébert, I think. He wrote, he was quite a popular pamphleteer in the French Revolution. And he used to write fake articles every week being like, Marie Antoinette is a rapist, and she's like, she rapes her son, and she's a pedophile, and they eat children at night and stuff like that. But he was a respected journalist in the French Revolution. They're like, this guy is just, he speaks truth to power, but he's just making shit up.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the most blatant example, just when you were saying that, the most blatant example of journalists, or like quote unquote journalists, or like news anchors or whatever, saying whatever they can just to get a profit, is Alex Jones.
Yeah.
That is the absolute peak of what this film is going against.
He's a huge
and like that
grifter,
is complete sensationalism as well.
Yeah, the frogs are turning gay and stuff, and like even the way he went after Sandy Hook and stuff, like that's just like, there's no way he believes half the stuff he says.
No fucking way. No way. But you can make a lot of money out of doing that.
He makes a huge amount of money,
and you can sell a lot of supplements out of doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
What was it, Alpha Power or something like that?
I remember, like ages ago, I was listening to Joe Rogan podcast, and he had Duncan Trussell, and Duncan Trussell was like, why do you have that fucking loser Ben Shapiro on your show? Like, saying it to him, why do you have that fucking loser on the show? And he's like, you know, he's alright, I guess, whatever. And Duncan Trussell's like, yeah, but the stuff that he says, and Joe Rogan literally goes like, basically said he doesn't actually believe the stuff that he says. He's saying it to make money.
Yeah.
Which is what every single, like, even like, not even going on like right wing like speakers like that, left wing as well.
Zizek.
Like, no, I'm gonna keep Zizek with
Well,
my heart.
he does purposely say things just to rile people up. Yeah,
just to rile people up and like to make money as well.
It boosts
like,
his profile. Yeah,
boosts
sells
his profile,
books. Yeah.
You make a lot of money out of saying outrageous stuff. You know, it's the same all across the spectrum. Like,
yeah. Like, remember he was like, "Oh, I'm pro-Trump." In the 2016 election.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't believe that. He was trying to make like some indirect kind of like obscure point, and he just said that, so that'd be the headline, and everyone would be like, "Oh, this guy's a terrible person," or else they'd be like, the right wingers would be like, "Oh, see, even the communists now that, like, you know." Trump is like a very very good example of what this film is talking about.
Yeah.
In terms of like, he was someone who everyone hated, but at the same time, yeah, he was amazing for ratings because he was like a media genius. He knew how to control a room. And he knew how to work.
Literally, like how he literally just looked at the network and was like, "I'll just do that and I'll become president."
Yeah, that is basically what he did. Yeah, even though he's a billionaire, speaking truth to power, which doesn't obviously make any sense. But like people sat down and watched him. Everyone, you know, liberals, you know, leftists, right wingers, all these. Everyone wanted to watch what he was doing, and you got to become president of the most powerful man on earth.
Yeah,
just by doing that.
By spouting shite.
Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked perfectly. And that's what it's going to be the pattern, I'd say, for like everything from now on.
Everything.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it always has been, but
yeah.
It's a heavy film. It's a lot going on.
It is heavy. And I just, like, I wish, see, part of the problem is that in reality, no one actually does have an answer to this problem. Because this is a real life problem.
Yeah,
so, like, Paddy Chayefsky doesn't have an answer to this. It's like, this is just what kind of happens, and you can see like how it happens, but it's so like, it is like so global and so like so distant from us,
impersonal. Like the machine just like keeps chugging no matter what.
You can't just say, "Oh, love will conquer." It's like that doesn't work in this situation, you know.
Yeah.
Like you can't, and like the people band together, yeah, sure, but
doesn't work.
When half the people are agreeing, like won't go the full, you know, there's no answer to this problem. Even the communists can't help it.
Yeah,
they sell out as well.
Yeah, he talks about it. Your man Jensen talks about it in the big speech. Like that speech goes on for like 5 minutes. He's talking about how like the world is all about the dollar at the end of the day, and he mentions it's like, oh, the Russians, like the communists, like you think they sit around at their party meetings talking about Karl Marx or whatever, like
no.
they sit down, they're like, well, how are we gonna what stock options are we gonna go in on today, or talk about their investments, you know, it's things like that. And you know, obviously you can see that today, like obviously that the USSR doesn't exist anymore, but like China is like, it was like a very good example of that kind of thing, where they were just like, let's just go all in on that part of the equation, and we'll keep all the hammer and sickles and stuff like that, but we'll become, you know, raw capitalists. Like we'll beat them at their own game, and it literally is all just about the cash, like the balance sheets at the end of the day. It was a very good point, you know.
Yeah.
But like this guy was making, he was like, fucking evangelism. But it's an impactful film.
It is.
I'm surprised it won loads of Oscars and stuff.
Well, it got co-opted a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
Itself got co-opted.
Yeah, it did.
No, it's depressing that its message over 50 years later still rings incredibly true.
Aye.
And will for the far foreseeable future as well.
Yeah.
Sure, what can you do?
What can you do? Anyway,
you don't have an answer for the problem. Just don't watch TV. Don't watch news. Just ignore all that stuff.
Yeah, unplug. Go Ted K.
Yeah, just live your happy.
Just go live in the woods.
Yeah, don't ignore news. Don't follow any of it. Just stay on social media.
That's actually a good idea. Don't follow the news. Try not to follow the news.
Yeah, someone's like, "Oh, did you see what's going on in Ukraine?" Having a fucking breeze.
Don't care.
I was like, genuinely, since I stopped using social media, I don't use Twitter. Having a fucking breeze what's going on in Ukraine. Russians are doing something. UK and America don't like it.
It doesn't affect.
Yeah,
you know?
I have no idea. Some fellow was saying to me today, World War III is starting soon. I was like, oh, is it? Cool.
Man, it's already started.
I didn't know that.
That's what a lot of people do, you know.
So, you know, I can't do anything about it. Why should I know about it?
Yeah. There's a whole moral obligation. It's like, it's just bad. You know?
It's just bad vibes.
Like
I'm here for that.
Yeah. What do you like? What's your social media philosophy? Like, what do you actually use? Just messaging.
Instagram. Instagram is my one form. I have Instagram and TikTok.
Instagram, TikTok. Okay.
For dog videos and then keeping up with friends.
That's a show.
That's it. That's all my content.
That's all you really need.
I'm just messaging. I don't even post on Instagram anymore. Mostly post the Parapod.
Yeah. That's all you need. This should be your only news source.
Yeah, it was.
Because we have a news section.
Yeah, we got a news
It's
section.
coming up now in about 2 minutes.
Or how about right now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh,
News
that's
section.
loud.
News section. Yeah, we're going to talk about Paul Verhoeven's new film,
Which looks class.
Bernadette. There's a Bernadetta.
Bernadetta.
There's
That's
a new-
Benedetta.
Benedetta. Oh yeah, you're right. What the fuck did I say? Benedetta.
Bernadette.
New trailer dropped. Paul Verhoeven.
This guy's a king.
Being you, we're not huge fans of Showgirls. But
Showgirls was shit.
Showgirls was shit, but it was outrageous.
It was
RoboCop
outrageous.
is good.
RoboCop is class.
Total Recall is very good. What's the other one? The Starship Troopers is also
amazing.
very good.
Very good.
You know, he's done bangers.
He's done bits.
He's done bits. And
Mm.
Benedetta looks fucking
It
unreal.
looks really good. It looks kind of like a devil's. It's like a French devil's.
Yeah.
But it's actually in French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's do it.
It looks like...
Is this based on a true story?
I think it's based on a book.
Oh, is it?
I think it's based on a book. What is the fucking set in 17th century and a lesbian nun
Nice.
is seen by God, or not seen by God,
sees Jesus.
She sees Jesus, and lesbian shenanigans ensue. It's the only way I can describe the trailer. It looks like the Devils, which is. It looks like it's gonna
Which
be.
is a good thing.
It looks like it's gonna be 2 hours of the lesbian orgy scene
Yeah.
from the Devils.
Yeah. This is coming out. It's being distributed in the UK, well, and Ireland by Mubi, which is good news for us.
We're gonna be getting on Mubi. Yes.
Well, it is. It's not till July. Maybe Lighthouse might show it in April because it is out in April.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, apparently I've seen.
I
that.
think this could be worth a shot in the cinema.
I would want to go see this in the cinema.
Let's go
I think.
see it in the cinema.
I think we should. I think we should. This is this is fucking. It's only 2 months. It's not even 2 months away. It's only a month away, realistically. Like we're nearly in fucking March now.
Yeah, we can meet some Devils enthusiasts.
Yeah.
At the
We can go dress up.
premiere.
Cosplay.
Dressed up as what was his name? Fucking that guy.
Yeah, the main character. What the fuck's name was? I have no idea.
I forgot.
No idea.
Oh, well. But yeah.
Because it looks like. Sorry, no, it doesn't look like. It was. I'm pretty sure I've heard, like disowned by the Catholic Church.
This was.
Like they were like, "This is fucking outrageous. This film should not exist."
They say that about everything.
It's like,
though.
are you still talking about? No one
Yeah.
gives a shit. Like, you should stop talking about films because
Yeah.
that's only giving it a positive light.
Who's like reading the Vatican Monthly or whatever,
Yeah.
like for their takes on
times.
yeah for their. Actually, did I ever? I feel like I've read that like they do have a good like movie section or something.
What the V times?
Yeah, something like that. Vatican.
That's
no.
so fucking funny.
No, but like who is realistically these days? You know, they banned everything.
They ban everything, but like the thing is, like, why are you doing that? Because you're only giving things more of a spotlight.
Yeah, that's like a badge of honor basically to wear, especially for a horror film.
This film is so extreme that it was banned by the Catholic Church. Sign me up.
Yeah.
It looks very, very good though.
Yeah,
looks very good.
That would be a show. You know, go
I've
see it.
heard. I'm pretty sure though, because it is out. Like this is a UK trailer, but I'm pretty sure that it is out. Like you can get this online.
Can you?
I think so. Because I've heard like people talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Like I listened to a podcast and one of the guys was talking about it. He was like, this film is fucking outrageous.
All right. Yeah.
He's like, this is the closest. He's like, it is comparable to the rosary beat scene in Multiple Maniacs.
Oh.
Not in terms, terms of like feel, but in terms of like blasphemy,
Yeah, blasphemous content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it was out. It was at Cannes. Last year.
Did it do well at Cannes?
Yeah, I have no idea. Let's have a read. It has good reviews. I'll tell you that.
Well,
It was banned in Singapore. Yeah, that's what it says here.
banned in Singapore. I don't know what that means.
That's a badge of honor, man. Singapore, like, you know.
Yeah. Singapore, Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Sounds like money to me.
Yeah, sign me up. All those microstates.
Yes, that's good.
This movie was banned by many microstates. Sign me up.
All the microstates hated it.
San Marino banned this movie. What?
Luxembourg. It's not a microstate, but it's really small.
Yeah.
They didn't like it. Yeah, and Francis Ford Coppola is also in the news.
I seen that he's making a new film called Megalopolis, which sounds like something
What
a
a terrible
5-year-old
name.
like. Oh, I'm gonna make a movie, man. Megalopolis.
It sounds like a shark movie.
Yeah, Megalodon, or what was it? Big Meg.
Yeah,
What was
the
film
Meg.
called? The Meg. Yeah. Megalopolis. Francis Ford Coppola. No one wants to touch this guy because he hasn't made a good movie in 50 years.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
so he's putting up his own money to make it. $120 million. Honestly, I think that money would be better spent in, like, you know, homeless people or something like that.
Yeah, not your fucking Megalopolis movie.
Yeah, unless this is going to change the fabric of society forever, you know. Maybe he thinks it will. But it's going to cost... He's putting up 120 mil of his own money, which is...
How much money does he have?
He must have a lot.
He must have a lot.
Like, surely... Like, you know the way George Lucas... Like, when Disney bought out George Lucas, what was that, 4 or 5 billion?
Something like that,
But
yeah.
most of that went to Lucas.
I know, it wasn't even. It was like 1 point something.
Was it?
Yeah, because Microsoft bought Activision recently, and that was the biggest like cash transaction in like American history. Something like that. It was like 4 point something billion.
Cash? What did they do
It
in
wasn't
cash?
cash, but like, you know, it was like
Oh, yeah,
most
yeah.
like money transaction in history, whatever.
Bill Gates is
Yeah,
like...
look, here it is in coins. Yeah, but it's like the biggest like transaction in American history. Or something
Oh,
like that.
okay, yeah.
And it was like 4 point something billion.
Oh, right.
And I'm pretty sure Disney buying Lucas films. Actually, let's fucking, you know what? We can actually Google that right now.
Let's fact check it.
We actually got listener questions as well, bro.
Holy shit. Yeah, let's fact check it. Our fact checkers are usually pretty on the point, but
Mm-hmm. Disney bought Lucas for. No wait. New reports suggest. Okay, this is from March. Jesus, this is from March 2021. New reports suggest George Lucas has made 10 billion from Disney.
10 bill.
Yeah,
10 bill. So that's quite a lot of money.
that's how much Lucas made from that. They bought it for 4 billion.
4 bill.
4 bill.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
I think Microsoft bought Activision for like 6 or 7 billion.
that's like, you know, Call of Duty. Come
Fucking
on.
hell, Call of Duty's not worth that much money.
Yeah, you know. Like, it's already played on the Xbox. What are they trying to get out of that? But,
It can be exclusive. That's why.
oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
they own it, so it's like it won't be on PlayStation.
Oh, shit.
Mm.
I was always Infinity Ward anyway. But like when Disney bought Lucasfilm, Lucas got huge. But as you saw there, $10 billion. He said after that, he did an interview and he was like, they're like, what are you gonna do now, George? And he was like, I'll probably just make my own projects, my own artistic vision. You know, like he's
He
gonna.
hasn't done a fucking thing.
Yeah, first of all, he hasn't done a single thing. Second of all, his mentor and the guy who basically made his career is out there struggling, pinching pennies to make his Megalopolis film, And he's like, yeah, would you not help him out? Like 120 million, that's nothing. You made 10 billion recently. You were already a billionaire. Give Francis a few coins, Like let him make Megalopolis or whatever.
You can just drop 200 million and it's no bother to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he can make it twice as good.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what George's problem is, but hopefully this is good for France.
Do you think it is going to be good?
No, definitely not, because he hasn't made a good film in so long.
Mm.
It would be amazing if it was good.
Mark, Apocalypse Now. No one wanted to touch that film.
That's true. That is true.
Mm.
That was
But that was also 50 years ago.
That was also that was 50 years ago.
It's a long time
And
ago.
that had Marlon Brando in it. This has Oscar Isaac. No offense to Oscar Isaac.
I love Oscar Isaac, but
He's no Brando.
he's no Brando. Who else is attached to this? There was fucking 3 names. Where was it? Oscar Isaac, Forrest Whitaker, and Kate Blanchett reportedly intox the star.
Like
among
that's
others.
a good cast. That's a good cast for like a film that you've never heard of, and you're like, oh, maybe that'll be good.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett was also in Don't Look Up, so that doesn't mean nothing.
She's been in loads of shy films.
Yeah. Forrest Whitaker, don't know what he's been in.
He's been
recently.
he was in Battlefield Earth.
So he was.
Self-funded as well.
Yeah, so he was. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's the last self-funded film he was in.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I pray for the best.
Let's hope our listener questions were better than that fucking Screen Rant
Let's
article.
see.
If you want to ask us a question, you can hit us up on Instagram or on Twitter at @paro_pod, or you can hit us up via email, theparopod@gmail.com. Liam is asking us, which horror icon would have the biggest social media following? Freddy Krueger.
He seems way more responsive.
He's charismatic.
He'd be more online, like Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface.
Those dudes don't know how to use a phone.
They don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
They don't even talk.
They don't even talk. Michael Myers doesn't know how to use a phone. Leatherface, I don't know what that guy does with a phone.
Yeah, they don't have
that
PR
fella-
people do it, you know.
That fellow would be like the CIA, FBI would be rocking up at his door almost immediately. He'd have a phone and instantly like go onto some fucking dodgy site and just get arrested.
Leatherface?
Yeah. He'd go onto some site that you're not meant to go onto.
Maybe. Yeah, they're not very talkative, are they?
No. I think
But I think they'd be good in like a kind of Tucker Carlson way, you know. So you get cancelled on purpose
Yeah.
to drum up likes.
oh, Leatherface just posed like this fucking douchebag trying to cancel me.
Yeah. Yeah, just own some libs in a bus. Lol.
Old age pensioner owns libs on a bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old age pensioner wearing mask takes on libs not wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh jeez. I think
good.
Freddy Krueger would have the most following just because he's a very charismatic man.
Yeah. He knows how to work the media.
Do you think Chucky would do well online?
Ah, yeah, as a novelty though.
Yeah.
Novelty account.
People are like, oh look how cute he is.
Yeah.
He's a toy.
Yeah, and you'd resent that, you know.
You'd
You'd
hate
withdraw from public life.
You'd hate it.
slowly.
He'd hate it. Scream, Ghostface.
Ah, he would be very good.
He'd do good. He'd be
In a meta way.
Yeah, he'd be like, ooh, look at me. I'm in a movie.
Whoa, it's the guy from the movie.
Yeah, I thought Freddy Krueger is the only answer to that.
Yeah, definitely. Carl is asking, why can't people just leave Texas Chainsaw alone? Don't mess with the perfect formula.
Cash is king. These movies make a lot of money.
It's true. It's true. Well, do they? But they kind of do.
I think
It's kind of a bankable, you know. It will make some money anyway.
yeah, whatever. But like this one's on Netflix, so we probably won't know how much money this like you can't really.
I'm sure it made a decent bit, but like, it seems to have fallen off the like top 10
Yeah,
straight away.
It peaked at like number 6 or something like that.
Did it? Yeah.
Who knows? I don't even. And I feel like they're tailored as well to.
Yeah.
I feel like they'd be tailored to you.
But like it feels like they all like whenever I see the top 10, it's always like some fucking random Netflix show I've never heard of, you know.
Yeah.
So like, and that I've never
like
watched.
Tinder Swindlers number 1 is like, who the fuck is watching that?
I actually watched that.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah,
Good?
it's actually alright. It's actually alright. Like it's quite funny. Like, but it's just a Netflix documentary. But I watched that. But I saw Inventing Anna is now the main one.
Yeah, what the fuck
I've
is that?
no intention of ever watching. I've no idea what it is. I will never watch it.
No,
But,
it's like a name, Inventing Anna.
mm,
What's it about? It's probably a documentary about someone stealing
it's a
stealing identity or something like that.
yeah. I think it is. It literally
Yeah,
is.
true crime documentary.
No, it's a dramatization of a true story.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck off.
Yeah, these movies. I'm pretty sure like Texas Chainsaw. Even I don't think Leatherface. I think Leatherface was a bomb, and that's why
They didn't make.
they didn't make one for a few
For a
years.
while.
And then there was like a copyright issue or like not a copyright trademark or the rights to Texas Chainsaw was all weird. But I'm pretty sure like those remakes made a lot of money.
And
And
yeah,
then
200 mil plus.
I'm pretty sure the 2013 one made a lot of money as well.
Sure. You know what would be a good idea for a next development of the series? A true crime mockumentary based on the killings 1974. Mysterious killings. You know, that'd be funny. This is like not even like like big budget kind of thing. This is like a kind of like
You could do that low budget.
you could do that low budget with, but like a fully Netflix kind of mockumentary style that is like making fun of. Like maintains the kind of like because Texas Chainsaw is kind of like there is a kind of
that American
jovial
Vandal
spirit.
thing.
No, what's that?
It's kind of like a piss take of. I haven't seen it, but it looks like it's a piss take of. What's that thing called? How to Make a Murderer.
Oh right, yeah.
It's like a piss take of like true crime documentaries, but I feel like you could do that. The only problem is that's how Halloween 2018 starts. Is like a true crime podcast going after Michael Myers.
But that's the best horror film of the past 10
I
years.
suppose it's the best slasher in like fucking forever. Yeah, no, I'd be down for that. Like,
I think that would be good. Like tongue in cheek, obviously, firmly in cheek, but at the same time, you know, maintaining some kind of element of horror about it. You know, that'd be funny.
Yeah, you could also
It'd be cheap.
You could also just leave Texas Chainsaw alone.
You could
Stop beating that dead horse.
You could.
Like that dead, like it's like beating a dead horse, but we're now like fucking Leatherface is beating this fucking pulp's head that's already fucking obliterated. Just keep hitting it into the ground.
Yeah.
That is Texas Chainsaw right now.
We'll just leave it.
But I like your idea.
It's
A mockumentary kind of thing.
That would be great.
True crime. Would you have Leatherface actually in it though?
No, but they have like, you know, sketches or something like that. You know, they have like a character or like witness. What do you call that? Like fucking
reconstructions of scenes.
Yeah, reconstructions of like what people might have seen, or like Sally's kind of like witness statement. You know, something like that. You know, where it's like it's kind of hinted that there's this weird guy who might have been wearing a mask. They don't know what the mask is made of. They found this house out in the middle of nowhere.
It's all bones and shit.
It's all bones. Like, what happened there?
You can be like an Ed Gein kind of thing as well.
It basically would just be an Ed Gein documentary, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but
actually, what would be the point of that? Yeah, but we better Leatherface.
No, yeah, you can do something. There's an idea there.
Let's do it. Someone pay us.
Someone pay us, and we'll make it. We'll sell out instantly. We'll be co-opted. No worries.
Yeah.
And Connor's asking us, could you make a Celtic Tiger film? What's the genre, and who's playing Bertie?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. Could you make a Celtic Tiger film? Okay, firstly, did you read that book that we had to do for English? That was Tanglewood. Was that what it was called?
No.
I have it there.
Tanglewood.
Were you? Fuck, I can't even remember the name of the writer for English, and it was about like building a house in the back garden while during the Celtic Tiger, and like shenanigans ensue, and it's all about like the housing project and stuff like that.
Ah, I see it here. Yeah,
it's called Tanglewood.
By Dermot Balger.
Yes. Yeah, you could actually make that into a. The only thing is that it is like it's a mad Irish story, and it's not a great book, but it does have stuff about, you know, the Celtic Tiger. So
yeah, you could do one Wolf of Wall Street style, where he's just like going on like holiday to like Spain every year and stuff.
Yeah,
he's like, he like buys a house down the country.
Yeah, you could do one of, like, you could just do like The Big Short.
yeah.
Just about the Celtic Tiger.
There's just a lot of lads in the pub being like, this is going down the fucking bin, you know.
And here's Paddy Joe to explain it.
Yeah. Just cutaways.
Yeah.
But who would play Birdie?
Colin Meaney.
Colin Meaney would be a good choice.
Yeah.
He would. Yeah.
Or oh my god, fucking Brendan Gleeson.
Gleeson, yeah, I think they're too charismatic though, you know, or maybe like they don't, you know, there's a certain evil. There's like
there is a certain evil,
inherent evil to Bertie Ahern, I think.
Yeah,
that is kind of like a sliminess, maybe.
I saw a clip of him on some fucking show, and they started asking him about something, and he just took off his mic and he got up and walked away.
The guy's, I don't know how he walks
They're asking him
the
at an
streets.
inquiry, and he's like, "I'm not talking about this." And
I don't know how that guy walks the streets. How does he sleep at night? But yeah, how
in his big fucking gaff, that's how he does it.
His big fucking gaff, yeah. But I don't know who would play him.
Yeah, who would want to play him is the real question.
Yeah, Colin Meaney though, probably. He's the go-to, you know.
Yeah.
He's the go-to. He knows his stuff. He's a good guy.
What would you have the plot be about though?
The plot be about someone
just back all these brown envelopes going around.
Brown envelopes, but it's also like someone, you know, he's in the throes of the Celtic Tiger. He's going on holiday. He has his second gaff. You know, he's throwing money around. The kids are, you know, off. They get a pool in their backyard and stuff like that. Things are insane, but they get swindled by Irish builders, and there's a whole thing where, like, I don't know, the house starts to collapse in itself. The fall of House of Usher kind of vibes.
That's a good idea. The house starts to decay. It's like a horror film then.
It just turns into a horror film.
Or you can make like a Wolf of Wall Street kind of film where like people idolize, like you're meant to. The film itself idolizes this person.
Yeah.
For like, oh, look how cool this person, the lavish lifestyle that they live. But like the whole thing is like, this is about the Celtic Tiger, and look what you have to live with. Like, you're living in the aftermath of what these dickheads did, and you're now idolizing the lifestyle that they had. Do a cool little switcheroo like that on the audience. It's like, you're at fault.
That's a laughing at the audience. Like, oh, look how good it used to be.
Yeah, look how good it was for us, and now look at you. Look at the gaps you have to fucking pay for now.
Yeah. That would be funny. Yeah, that'd be a hard one to take on now. I wouldn't trust anyone to do that.
Jesus, no. Jesus fucking Christ, no. What's the genre?
What's the genre? Comedy.
Drama.
Well, every Irish film, isn't it? It's just a comedy drama.
Yeah.
I don't know any.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a horror film recently called The Dark Song, but it's actually a Welsh production. But all the people in it were Irish. It's very good. It's a pure horror film. But other than that, like it's everything is just like ho ho, we're Irish, you know.
It either has to be like a comedy drama or it has to be a horror film for this.
A horror film, yeah. You can do both.
Yeah, a horror film. It's about the Celtic Tiger.
It turns into a horror film.
we just do like Come and See, but it's just people trying to survive the Celtic Tiger aftermath.
Yeah.
The horror. Like we just said something awful, but I'm so like the David Arquette people that like that last post.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm so glad they didn't listen to us talk about that.
Hopefully they didn't. Yeah.
Hopefully they didn't. I'm pretty sure the vagina talk would have fucking
it turned them off.
That was a barrier of entry. Like
yeah, that was like a test. Can you make it through the vagina talk?
It's like, can you make it through an episode of Paropod? It's like a test of
20 minutes in.
20
You're
minutes
like,
in,
when is this gonna start? When are they gonna start talking about films?
This is a fucking film podcast. What a lot of bullshit. Speaking about films, episode 80.
Whoa!
Recommended film. It's gonna be a French film called Nocturama. It is on Netflix.
Yes.
Nocturama. Who the fuck is this by? This is a 2016 film from Bertrand Bonello.
What? Bertrand
Bonello. Now I've heard that this is a decent film.
What's it called?
Paris, one morning, a group of young people from different backgrounds, they launch into a strange ballet in the metro tunnels and the city streets. They seem to follow a plan. Their gestures are precise, almost dangerous. They converge towards the same point, a department store. At the moment it is about to shut, night begins.
What the hell?
I've heard it's good. I don't know if it's about anything. Fingers crossed that it is. I think it's about like French revolutions and protests and stuff like that. Youth culture in Paris.
That sounds good. Wait, what's it called? Nocturama.
Jesus, I hope it's still on Netflix.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Let's do it, guys.
We leave it at that.
We'll leave it there this week. Goodbye and God bless.
Bye.